did I just one-shot a bear with an arrow and it dropped dead on the spot? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And then all hell breaks loose. And this bear is running downhill on only its front end. It was dragging its ass behind it, and it's coming down the hill, front end, hand over fist, just flying, roaring. And she's coming right at me. She knew what tree I was in. She knew exactly where I was. She's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm gonna get you."
Welcome to the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast.
Scotch and beers waiting for this exciting episode of the Wilderness Wavelength.
I do like your intros when you bring them in too, Matt. I love
did,
that.
And I'm
yeah.
just being silly. I didn't. You know.
Oh, I like that. This is another episode. Scott Sunderwald here as always.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm sitting here with a stogie. We're in the backyard. I got a glass of scotch, and we got Matt Ritchie here tonight. Doesn't get any better
Oh,
than
man,
that. I don't
yeah.
know how we
Evening,
can
folks.
improve on this situation.
One of our favorite guests and one of our most
appreciate
requested
that.
guests too, Matt. Everyone loves your storytelling, honesty, maybe, and then you're not afraid to give away some hunting secrets. I think people love that too.
Oh, well, yeah, ain't no point in keeping it to you, because then you're just... I find that in life in general, if you're generous and you can give without expecting,
Yeah.
the unexpected comes your way.
That's a good point. Yeah, actually, Matt's last, well, maybe not the last episode, a couple episodes ago was our biggest episode of 2025, where we were talking gold panning.
Yeah.
People love that one.
Oh man.
Well,
yeah.
people don't understand. People understand there's gold in the world, but when you think about it in Alberta, there are people, the odd person's like, yeah, I've heard about that. But in general terms, people are mystified when I show them a little line of gold in the bottom of a pan, and they're like, that's here, that's in Alberta,
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it fires a guy up immediately, because we got a little gold bug across the fire here.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Scott's already got his pan.
Yeah, well, we said we're going to do a live podcast down by the river
I'm
in a
stoked for that.
van
Yeah.
down by the river, looking for gold with Matt Ritchie. So stay tuned. We'll do that this summer.
Yeah.
here.
This episode, we're going to dig into spring bear hunting.
Spring bear, exactly.
We haven't really touched on that much. We did like a bear safety episode a long time ago, or like bear fact episode.
We've done some bear hunting. Thane shared his story a few months ago. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a bear hunter. I've gotten most of my bears, though, in the fall. I did get one last year with Thane, but I'm not a big spring bear guy, mostly just because it's a busy time of year for me. But this year,
You're
I
going.
had the sons here living at home,
Yeah.
and these guys will eat 18 steaks a night.
Yeah.
So the freezer's looking mighty empty. So I'm thinking I might try to get a spring bear this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, spring bear's fantastic table fare, and it's good red meat. You can, and in the spring of the year, I don't give the tips away right off the hop here. We'll save some of these little tricks and stuff for later, but spring of the year is a very easy time to harvest a good bear, because they are a little bit slower, they're colder, they're waking up, they're stretching, they're going for food, they're looking for certain things, and they're unbothered.
And they're looking for mates too.
Yeah, that'll come a little bit later
That'll come
on.
a little later.
Towards the end of the season, you'll see the bigger boars. You'll catch them once in the early season where they get up out of their den,
Yeah.
and they're going to a traditional spot of theirs, and they'll move. They'll run a beeline right to this spot. So you'll hear guys talking, "Oh man, I saw a monster bear right here," and I'm like, "Yeah," and he's heading 15 kilometers on a straight line through the bush over somewhere over there. Unless you can get on them, like you can track these bears, like those big boars.
Yeah.
But then they'll disappear, and then come towards when the rut's hitting, end of May, end of May, in the first part of June. Season is usually extended. Like for the last 10 years, I think around here has been extended till June 15th, just for lack of number and harvest reports and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. But our number of black bears in these woods is fantastic.
Well, and before we dive too much into the how-tos and all that, 'cause
Yeah,
we're
carried
going to
away.
do a deep dive. I did want to speak to the elephant in the room, and as a hunter, here's what I found. Steve Rinella from Meat Eater speaks about this too. He said something to the effect of If you kill a snake and eat it, nobody minds. You can post that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kill an alligator, make boots and eat it, and everyone's happy for you. You can catch a fish and everyone's happy for you.
Yeah.
And then you shoot a deer or an elk and you start getting a little bit of animosity from anti-hunters. And then you shoot a bear, and that's when the real contempt can come in. And what I like to remind people, if you're not familiar with bear hunting, and I'm sure these fellows here are the same as me, we have a strong conservation ethic. Like, there are well over 40,000 black bears in Alberta. So for me, it's always a question, is the population sustainable? Because
Yeah.
bear is really good eating fare, as you said. It's one of the best meats, and we're going to talk about recipes tonight. But if the numbers are healthy, and generally we're taking males out of the population, not females with cubs, then it's sustainable. And people have been eating bears since the dawn of humanity.
40,000 sounds like a ton.
Oh, there is, and in comparison, the estimates for grizzlies in the province are under 1,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You buying that?
No.
More grizzly bears?
Just for the volume around this in this area, I bet you if you went up in a helicopter, it would not be hard to come back after an hour ride and say we saw 6 grizzlies just in this.
I'm
like-
seeing more grizzlies in a summer than I am black bear.
You know what,
Yeah.
Scott? 100%. And I've been after black bears here for probably 15 years, and we watch the numbers. I see like my personal encounters with grizzlies in the areas that I hunt. It used to be one sow that would have twins, and then and she would usually, both of them would make it. Like the Emerson Road Grizz, like Chris knows. Like I've talked with Chris about that, or with her. And then there was one on the ranch, and she was having one, and then had 2, and then, but this was a few years ago. So, but now there's more grizzlies coming in. Like there's just
Yeah.
the number of them. But
Yeah, pretty robust population of grizzlies. And the reason I wanted to start with that whole conservation issue, I know quite a few states have shut down the black bear hunt completely, and the numbers just go crazy. So we got to remember that hunting is a management tool.
Yeah.
It's a way to keep populations in check. And as long as the population is robust, it's a win-win situation, right?
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
your
actually-
experience with bear hunting, Matt? Because you were talking too, your dad was involved with it, eh?
yeah, Dad was a corrections officer, but he was he'd outfitted as well. He was the lead guide at his buddy's outfitting lodge, and black bear was the mainstay. They did moose, they did whitetail, a lot of waterfowl hunting and stuff, but black bear was the consistent money maker for the operation.
And that was back east?
Yeah, it was in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
And it was nice. They had to set up water farm properties out there on the First Eel River system. And black bears, they're like cats in New Brunswick. Like there is black bears everywhere, and the woods are thick.
Yeah.
So they do all right. But baiting was the main thing. So that was, they were allowed to bait. So you'd have your 50-gallon drums and your 5-gallon pails full of grease. And
Yeah, what's in there? Just like cooking grease?
yeah, well, we'd go to like the Irvings and like any of the KFC restaurants and stuff while they allowed it.
Yeah.
And those monster vats, and
Yeah.
we'd go with 5-gallon pails, and you'd fill up a back of a pickup truck full of 5-gallon pails, full of this grease and stuff. And then, so we'd bring it home, and what they had done was taken an old furnace tank, an oil tank, from a house, and they'd split it in half and laid it out, and they would take all that grease, empty all the grease into the vats, and then they would mix in molasses and all these different ingredients, like off-grade stuff that they would get from the McCain's factories.
Yeah.
And they would make this special syrup. And man, I'm telling you, like, you'd see they throw it on us like a stump or a tree, and the bears would just come in and lay down on it and just rip it apart.
Wow.
And I'd go in and have a stick or something, and I'd be flinging it on trees. And
Was it like Because I know I've done barrel trap work, and some of the rotting beaver that we've used is just
Beaver's the best.
stinking,
You're
man.
jumping right to the point. That's a beaver. I've seen what a black bear, a 400-pound black bear, can take a 50-gallon drum and rip it in half.
Yeah.
Because he'll jump on it and bounce on it and jump. Because how we did our 50-gallon drums is you drill multiple holes through the top and then use big washers and chains and run it through the inside. So it's like, if you ever played pickup sticks?
Yeah.
Or not pickup sticks, but with
Yeah, the kerplunk, yeah, with the marbles in there.
so you make like a kerplunk trap in the front of it with the chains, and then and then you have all your bait in behind, and you could have it so you could drop it in, or you could have a little door on the back of. Anyways, and they'll beat that around, and you have it chained to a tree. So they make a hell of a mess, and they have a lot of fun doing that. Like the hunters would get a lot of entertainment watching these bears, and
Yeah.
Are you using rotting fish and stinky stuff like that? or-
I mean, if you could get your hands on it, a lot of it was off-baked goods
Yeah.
because we had a lot of bakeries and factory-style stuff. So you get all these, I say McCain's stuff, but that was a little high-end. People could still eat the off-grade of that for a while. But no, it was all baked, like donuts, sweet treat. Like, you think of any Mrs. Dempster's or Humpty Dumpty's, like
Man, it does
every
sound
type
good.
bags and candy corn, like 50-pound bags of candy corn that went off grade they didn't sell, and
Yeah.
like we would get trailer loads of that stuff.
Wow.
And
A
that's-
donut dipped in KFC grease, man. I'd be all over
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
bags,
I know you're making me
dude,
hungry.
bags of donuts, that sort. Yeah.
Wow.
Now
So-
we should mention though, here in the Northern Rockies, because of the grizz population, we are not allowed to bait
And our zones, yeah.
in our zone until you get out to Edson. So
Wolf
you
Lake-
grew
Wolf
up
Lake
in
Road.
Edson there, George. Do you
Yeah.
remember buddies baiting out there?
No, I don't think I had anybody's that were into bear hunting. It almost seems like it's the next level. You know, it's like your deer, elk, moose. The bear was never on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I found interesting with some of the zones by Edson, you still have grizzly there, so they must be coming into these bait areas.
Oh yeah, they are absolutely. I'm a my elk hunting partner. I helped him set up a couple bear baits on the Wolf Lake Road along the river system.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good.
So-
there's grizz there for
There,
sure.
oh yeah, there is for sure.
What happens when the grizz shows up? Then you just
You just abandon that bait site.
yeah. He's got it.
I
He's claiming
wouldn't.
it.
I've abandoned elk sites because I had a grizzly walking around in it. I was like, no, won't go back there.
Yeah. Take a break from that spot.
Yeah. Well, I'll find another spot. Like one time, but then to immediately see it again, and then there's more tracks around. I'm like, oh, it's might be hanging out here. So, but it was a hot spot, water hole with elk, and
Yeah. So let's get back to the
Yeah.
bait, because I've never hunted over bear bait. I've shot my bears mostly just, I'm hunting deer, I've got a bear tag, and I stumble across a bear. That's generally how I've got
That's why
mine.
your fall bear is
Yeah,
just.
you just
yeah.
put that tag in your pocket, and when you see them, opportunity knocks. What's the bear baiting situation like? Are you almost guaranteed to see a bear? Are you getting selective? There's a certain one you're looking for?
if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, having your bait set up so that the predominant wind, you aren't giving up your wind when you're like your access in and all that stuff. You have to have your layout done right. First and foremost, once you start baiting and you get bear activity, do not, the best and the fastest way to F up your bear bait is to let it run out of bait. The first time that bear comes back, even if it's a little one, keep feeding the little one, because that bear activity will bring more bears in.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So if your bait goes dry and that bear comes in and sees a dry bait, it's gone. You won't see that same bear. It's moving, right? Because they're little gutlet, or what do you call it? Anyways, they're pigs of the woods.
Yeah.
I always thought for the longest time my dad filled me full of shit, and he always said that the black bear was just no different. It was just a long-haired pig.
Long-haired pig.
And that's what he dealt with the things all the time, and he's like, oh yeah. So, but it's not. It's a common myth. Like it's an actual myth that a black bear is in the pig family, but it's no, absolutely not. They'll act like it, and they can eat fucking goddamn anything.
Anything, eh?
The
Yeah.
carburetors, they can't eat it if they can get it in their gut.
Yeah.
But I want to pause there for a moment for, again, back to this people who are against hunting bears.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of these people have no problem frying up bacon in a pan, which is an omnivore. The bear is an omnivore. You know, ethically, in my mind, there's no difference killing a pig and a bear, right? They're both creatures of this world, as long as
Morally-
the population is good, right?
Excellent point. And morally, to get even further into that, it's morally more ethical for you to handle it yourself than what you can't do it yourself, so you're paying somebody to do your killing for you.
Yeah, I feel the same way,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you go to the grocery store, you have forgotten that every time you purchase red meat or chicken or pork, any of that, you had to pay somebody to do your killing for you.
Well, yeah, every
Yeah.
time you buy a burger, right?
It separates you for sure from what you're doing.
From the
yeah.
from what you're eating and the act that took place.
Yeah, yeah. So then, when you're, so Scott, you've never baited a bear, then?
No. Like I said, I've hunted them, but only when I'm hunting deer,
Yeah,
and then you kind of bump them. But yeah, we're going to get
Gluttonous.
into some techniques here in the spring.
yeah.
But
That's what I was hoping to dig into a bit tonight. So, when we're out in the Northern Rockies here, what's the plan for getting a bear? How do you do it? What's the approach in springtime here?
Well, I could just whip out the 5 facts and you could get right to it, or I could dawdle around it.
Get into it.
Give us the goods,
yeah,
man.
Matt. Come on.
First things first is I can't get the smoke's following me.
yeah,
right
the
here.
smoke is following us. We're doing musical chairs
It's
here.
spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, first and foremost, they're hungry. They need to eat. They're going to be needing to drink water and they need to eat. So find green grass, the first green grass shoots of the year. So if I was going to, and they know exactly where the green grass is growing too every year. They're not stupid. Their mama showed them where that's where they grew up.
Yeah.
So I would be looking for a south-facing slope, a heavy south-facing slope, and something that it just doesn't have to be one slope, but something that has a lot of ledges and valleys and where there's standing water and thick evergreen water, that sort of stuff, and that's in those. I like to call it like they look like cedar swamps, but they're evergreen swamps. And in those areas, you'll have super duper old growth, and you'll have root balls overturned.
Oh yeah.
And you want to jump a bear. That's where I would go looking to jump a bear, is in one of them wet, boggy holes,
Yeah.
Okay.
and start looking for heavy. I've gotten right up and stepped on top of a bear den before, and coral growling, and so I'm like, whoa.
Jeez.
And we got 30 yards off, and that bear, 2-year, 3-year bear, come up out of that hole like a shot.
Were you hunting for one, or
No, I was just out bumbling through the woods
Yeah.
with the dog, looking for antlers or putting pins on a map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say it's more of that edge effect, or are you looking for them deep in a big cut block, in the middle of the cut block, looking for fresh green clovers coming up? Or
That's a good one. On the edges of your roads where you know that you've got steady water flowing down through, if the first is checking the ditches and those types of areas, because you'll find scat and you'll find where the green grass has been starting to get nipped off if there is grass coming up.
Yeah.
And you'll find bear tracks in that soft dirt around that, and you can judge whether or not it's a bear that you'd want to pursue. Most often there'll be smaller little ones, but you'll know that there's bears around. Dandelions are the spring bear around here. The first dandelion of the season, there's black bears coming from 2 kilometers away to get that dandelion.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because the Grizz has been out. I've been seeing their tracks. We've been seeing Grizz for at least 3 weeks now here. We're end of April 30th today. And black bears, I haven't seen a single track. I'm sure some of them are moving
2 days
already.
ago, I saw my first track.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was fresh. It was within, I was pretty sure I could have put a dog on it.
Good size or
No,
little
just a
guy?
young one, 4-inch pad. It was just,
Yeah.
the
So it's
2-year bear.
interesting how the grizz tend to wake up sooner, and of course the male grizz are known for that especially. I was driving a white court yesterday for work, and there must have been 5 or 6 fresh killed roadkill does, because they're
Yeah.
all feeding in the ditches now,
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get that fresh clover coming up.
It's a hard time of year on them, actually,
Yeah.
is just because of that. Well, and we had such a long-standing winter where we kept getting snow.
Yeah.
So that's hard on the ungulates because the shoots aren't coming up further back off the road. And the only shoots that are coming up are on the sides of highways that are getting sun all day long.
Yep.
And they have no option. Like these prolonged winters where we're getting snow like that are just awful on them.
Well, my point with that is
They
the
get
bears
hit.
at dawn and dusk must be hitting the same spots.
That's what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
If you know where there's a good slope and you've got grass and you got water, like especially if there's water coming down through, like not so much that they're drinking the water, but that's where that green, like the best and the freshest green grass is going to be,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're not eating that. They're not eating that 4 or 5 inch long grass. Like they don't want that. They want that.
Yeah, that
just
fresh, green
1
stuff,
inch,
spring
1.5,
grass.
2 inch, and
Yeah.
they nibble on the shoots. So they got their face buried right down in there because their teeth are almost right on the ground. Just
Especially
Yeah.
if they can get some alfalfa, dandelions, and clover. That's like ice cream for them.
I was taking those veterans out, and I'd be driving around and I'd be hitting key spots. And if I found dandelions, we were coming back to that spot. And it's amazing over a 4-day period if everything hasn't popped, and you get that rain, and all of a sudden sometimes it's like 18 hours, like that one day to the next, and by lunchtime the next day, if you get hot heat, everything, it's like, oh my goodness, you're watching them just whoop, open up.
So are you back to these south-facing cut blocks? Because
Yep.
that's a common knowledge for spring bear hunt. Are you posting early morning, glassing for hours? Or are you moving from cut block to cut block? What's your technique there?
Didn't do a lot of hiking too much. Like if I knew that there was bears in the area, I call that jumping bears. Because I would hunt those. The best, honest to goodness, the best way to do it, if you can afford it, is a tank full of gas. Because in the spring of the year, you've got to hit certain areas, and if the bears aren't out and they're not there at that time, that
Yeah.
if you're going to be out walking and you want to be, right now you're jumping bears. You're just going into areas that you know, you're looking for at the base of trees. The main indicator is your ribbons. So if you're looking at the base of fir trees, all of a sudden you're seeing they're all ripped up and they've got all these ribbon strips, and the tree is just leaking sap from that 4 or 5 foot mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big bear if they're causing ribbons up that high. But usually what they're doing, like if you ever seen a dog get up from a hard nap or a cat getting up off the couch, and they'll stretch their back
Get a little
legs out
stretch
and they'll get their
going.
ass right out and they'll get their paws out in front of them. That's what that bear is doing, and he's stretching himself out and he's sharpening his claws against the tree. So that's what he's doing, really. It's marking his territory, and if you see one, you're gonna see a half a dozen.
Yeah.
And if you see more than a half a dozen, there is a den site with like 200 yards, 100 yards.
Yeah.
And I bet you'll find that up on a trail, on an elevated position, and you'll have a little hollow or a dip or some sort of deviation in the landscape down below you.
So
And
these ribbon trees, some guys refer to them as hula skirt, probably the same thing, where they're peeling up. Some of them are going for that fresh cambium and actually chewing it, and you can see their tooth and claw marks down the tree, and they're actually licking that.
Oh, I bet
fresh
it's
cambium.
juicy coming out of there.
Yeah, so you're looking for some fresh ones to show that the bear's in the area.
I thought they were just stretching it out. I watched one little one do it. He was just going at it. But yeah, no, that was an indicator we look for too. But you can look for saplings in the spring of the year on the side of the road when you're driving around. If you're walking up right of ways, another indicator too is your 6 foot, 8 foot alders. and willows and stuff like that
Yeah.
got your fresh shoots coming up, the bear will walk up and he'll just reach up with a paw and he'll pull that down and he'll nibble all the shoots off. And you'll see trees that are all broke off, like 3-4 foot up. And all the bears come up and grabbed it and broke it down. And you think it's moose or something like that, but it's black bear.
They must be hitting those balsam poplar buds too, because they're often found climbing up
Oh, for
those
sure.
things and eating those sticky buds there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Medicinal.
Yeah, you'll see them up.
The same stuff I was making
I was
that.
gonna say, you were just making
that
some-
medicine
Has
from.
aspirin in it.
It's
doesn't
full
it?
of aspirin,
Yeah.
so those things are just rocking with aspirin, eh?
I would bet Mama wouldn't probably mind a little aspirin after a winter.
Yeah, yeah. And then you mentioned too, so like bear rut end of May sort of thing.
Yeah, end of May, June.
Does that
And
change
then you'll see well, and you'll see it beforehand, the younger ones and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more so later in the season is when you're going to see those big 400-pounders moving.
Yeah.
And then you're like, if you can't tell what it is, even as you're getting closer, you're like, it's a black blob.
Yeah.
That's a big goddamn bear.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're like, whose dog's running around over there, like, and because of course, a black bear's ears, when they develop, their ears develop very early, and they go to full development before their body's even anywhere near it.
Yeah.
So if you see a bear and you're like, man, look at the ears on that fucker, don't
Yeah.
shoot it. Don't shoot it. That's a small bear. You'll get up there and you'll be like, think you shot somebody's German Shepherd.
Well, I was going to ask you specifically about that, because we're not trying to target the females. Obviously, shooting a sow with cubs is against the law, and you want to leave the females to breed.
That's hard,
But
unless
from
you-
200, 300 yards to find a
From
male.
40, 50 yards.
Yeah, they can be tricky. Right?
Give me somebody that can sex that bear.
Mm-hmm.
A healthy, mature female versus a healthy, early male.
Yeah. Hard to tell, eh?
When she's 300 and quarter in spring with a full thick coat,
Yeah.
and she's standing there and she's a dry sow, get somebody to tell me the difference
would be
between that
tough.
female and a 2-year-old boar. So, because man, I've sat there and we've watched some bears. We have video footage of it, and we actually aired it on Sportsman's Channel, doing that one exact same thing. And I'm like, no, I got a feeling that's a female, and we're filming. I'm like, I think that's a female. There's got to be cubs here somewhere. She was just her behavior, the behavior. You'll see her looking at you, and then she'll give a look back, and you'll hear her making a little huff or whatever communication sounds, and you'll pick up on her behavior, and that's what the thing was. And sure enough, she had 3 beautiful, healthy cubs with her, and big. And they were all going to make it. There was no, unless like a boar came along or something and got a hold of them, or a grizz or something. But that was a nice bear.
So
But
you
again,
want to watch that bear for a bit to make sure the cubs aren't hiding
Yeah.
back.
don't
and-
be jumping out of the truck in a big hurry to run over and get the bear down. Like if you have been hunting for a while,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh man, we got to get a bear, and just give it a minute. Like unless you're like, it's enormous, and
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
Do you
well,
find like when when
Still
a
have a
deer, when you
bigger
spook
head.
a deer up, it's gone. When you like spook a bear up, is it gone, or is it like run 30 yards, kind of hang out for a bit? Or how's
You
that?
could go up, walking up on a bear, when it gets your wind, that one's pretty well over. Like if it gets your wind,
Yeah.
that bear's gonna bust and it's gonna run and hide. Now, if it's on good feed on the side of the road, like when I was driving around spotting bear, I'd drive right by him. The guy'd be in this passenger seat vibrating.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Calm down and do not make eye contact with it. We're gonna go up here and park."
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? And we drive by, and the bear kind of picks his head up and looks at us. And I'm like, "Don't look at it. We're driving. Don't look at it, man."
If you look at it, you think it's gonna run?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, like a deer.
Yeah.
Tell me that when you're driving and you see a nice little buck on the side of the road, and you're not paying attention to it, and you're just like, "Oh yeah, look at that." That deer picks its head up. If you got a rifle in your truck, your energy's different, your face is different.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
you
I
get all
know.
excited and you might get a grin and your eyes get wide and that deer's like, fuck, he's got a rifle and he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A good trick is to pass your quarry.
Yeah.
And drive past it so it relaxes, goes back to feeding, and now you've got time on your hands.
And the bears will do that very thing. The bears are chill. Like if you just drove by, you spot a bear up in a block or on the side of the road, you can just drive by it. That, especially in the evening, middle of the day, it's probably just transitioning.
Yeah.
But in the evening, if you jump it off the road, just go park and walk back and get the wind in your favor. That bear will be back out on the side of the road eating grass 10 minutes.
Yeah.
As long as nobody keeps driving by. But
Yeah.
But George, back to your question, are they moving? I've personally found that bears are moving a lot more than ungulates. Like
Really,
sometimes you bump a deer and they'll kind of look at you and give you that nice silhouette
Yeah.
broadside. To me, bears are they're always doing something. You're like, would you just sit
Yeah.
still?
Hang on for a minute here.
Yeah.
yeah, no, they can.
They
Yeah,
can
and
be fidgety.
If they've got eyes on you, they'll stay just out of sight. They'll be like, "Oh, you're coming here," and they'll just edge out, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't really.
Yeah.
Well, we've had on different scenarios on a boar in the spring of the year.
Yeah.
You can encourage a situation to happen. You just gotta be prepared to be ready for the situation that you're putting yourself in.
Right.
Now, because you can get a boar that's starting to go into the rut, you can get him fired up. So you can go in on a boar and get him to come out of the thicket at you. Like, but I'm not talking going in at 5 yards and like thrashing a stick around.
You're wearing your female black bear costume?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that what you're
What's
doing?
the female black bear call
With the
sound like?
with the 300, actually interesting sound. It's just,
Do they got a call?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just more a bit of a guttural grower runt.
Have you tried using that?
No, geez, no. Wounded rabbit. If I was trying to call a bear in the spring of the year, I'd use a wounded rabbit call.
I
We used
I
it.
was going to talk to you about that. I'm glad you brought it up because the predator calls will work for bears. My biggest fear is I'm sitting in a nice
You're
cup
calling
block.
everything, man.
Yeah, and suddenly you've got this massive grizz come ripping out towards you. You got to
Yeah.
be prepared to deal with
They're
that.
staring down at the barrel of a
And you
of a
don't want
cougar
to
at 8
shoot
yards.
that grizzly, right? So
Yeah.
you got to be careful what comes ripping out.
And not all black bears black. Like
No,
you see any
there's
cinnamon ones around?
Oh yeah. Oh, there's lots of cinnamon color or cinnamon face colors of bears around here. My buddy of mine got a really nice one. Thing about them is they don't last too long. They don't get to the 6 foot mark because
Oh.
people see them at 5.5 foot at 250 pounds and they're like, oh, I gotta get that.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, or we've had
And
people
then they get up
shoot 'em-
there and they're like, oh.
We've had people shoot them thinking they were coyotes at 250 yards.
Oh, really?
Blonde. We've seen the odd blonde black bear out
Wow.
here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we want to get into the difference between black bear and grizzlies? Or is that too in depth for this episode?
No,
I mean, we
go
already kind
for
of
it.
touched
Go
on
for
a
it.
little bit.
Things to look for, because I've been black bear hunting. Sun's going down, and I'm getting my rifle ready, and I'm like, "Oh, there's a bear!" And I'm getting ready, and
Yeah.
my son's like, "Dad, he's got the binos out. That's a grizz."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, "Thanks, man," because you
Yeah.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. A silhouetted bear at 300 yards in the setting sun
Yeah.
can be tricky. You
Well,
gotta
and
be
if he
really
was in the
careful.
downslope position, then you wouldn't see the hump.
You won't see the hump always, and if it's a smaller grizz,
I've seen big boar black bear that have a bigger hump than some of the small grizz. You're like,
Yes.
when those big boars get like that and they get up to that big weight, they get it's not a hump, but they get big, heavy on top
Big
of their
in the shoulders.
and
Yeah.
they can get a real heavy rounded effect going on, and people will mistake them for a grizz.
big pumpkin head.
Pumpkin heads, yeah.
Yeah.
When their ears are little bitty tiny things that look like cartoons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like little tiny ears, and they're rolled off to the side of their head, because like the bigger the bear, the smaller the ears, and if they're right down off to the side of their head, that's, man, I'm getting out and shooting.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, whereas the classic female tends to be a little more sleek, a little more dog-like in the face with that big pear-shaped butt, and then it kind of narrows down. But like you said, you could have a really big female, and that can change things up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have swore that one. She was so big and healthy. Like that was if you were gonna have a prime example of a black bear, that was her.
Yeah.
That really beautiful bear, and she had 3. Had to be healthy. She had 3 of them, and they were all doing well. Not one of them was running out.
Yeah, and I've seen grizz that were nearly jet black too, so that can be tricky. You can't just trust color.
When your dad was doing the guiding, was anyone out there with a bow? Or was it pretty?
We had one character. His name was Buck. Buck had lost both of his hands in an industrial accident, crushed in the nip on so countertopping this arborite, like you get the counter, so it runs through these big presses. It's just like a paper mill, but it's just different.
Yeah.
Anyways, he got his hands zip-zapped inside of these rolls and squished them out.
Yeah.
Well, they stopped before he got yarded into the machine, so the buck was stubborn, you see, so he had lost all of his fingers, but he still had the stubs on the wrists.
Okay.
So he had these little weird stubs on the wrist, but he had them bandaged up. My God, it's awful. I won't want to gross everybody out. But he had to change his bandages. Well, Dad had his own lodge out on our own private property, and certain hunters he allowed to come spend this time at Dad's camp with him, and Buck was one of them. Well, Buck shot his bow with his feet because he didn't have hands.
Wow.
So this is in the late 80s and
doing
early
that?
90s, right?
But you're laying down?
No, he sits right in a chair.
Is he in a tree stand?
He's in a tree stand, and he sits in. I wish everybody see me. And he gets the bow here, and he has a super short draw length, but he was able to bring his toe, and he pushes with his left foot. That's where he gets the compound action. And then he's releasing with his right foot, but he could get his right foot almost to his chest, right?
Yeah.
Because he had to.
Wow.
And how is he sighting in on that thing? That's got to be tough.
Oh, yeah. I only ever saw him shoot it from, he had a bench because I didn't see him hunting, but at the hunting lodge, every year, I'd collect his arrows. So every year he'd come to camp and he'd sit on his private lodge on the step and he would shoot a tree.
Yeah.
And it would take a couple years for the arrows to fall out. So then I would collect all these arrows, and I still have Buck's arrows that fell out of that tree.
Wow.
But yeah, he would take a bear. He'd take a bear every year.
With his feet?
With his feet.
Buck,
Wild.
if you're listening, if he's still around,
Buck.
I tip my hat to you.
Oh yeah,
that's
he was a
amazing.
character.
That's amazing, yeah.
There's so many good stories like that. There was this other who he was a Jean-Claude Van Damme bad guy from one of those C-class movies.
Yeah.
Bald head, and only had a rat tail on the back of his head.
Ooh, yeah.
That was like 6 inches
Badass.
long, and it looked like a little butthole off the back of his head with big curly Q coming out of it.
Yeah.
Well, he came to hunting camp, bear hunting, and he was going to shoot a bear, and he didn't need nothing. I think he might have been from Louisiana, like that Creole French. I don't need nothing. I'll get it done myself. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, well, what do you want to bet? And they're like, oh, did this and that. And he's like, we bet you that ponytail on the back of your head.
Boy.
And he's like, oh, all right, I'll take that bet. And well, Dad tried to steer him away from this one bait, but this guy, because Dad knew that the bears weren't on this bait.
Yeah.
And he's like, you really should take this other bait. I think that you should take, no, I take this one. So the guy took that bait. Well, didn't he get skunked out?
Yeah.
Took a shot at a little tiny bear at the end of it and missed it. It was a goddamn small, he missed it. And they came back on Saturday night, they got drunk, and they cut that rat tail off of his head. And they got a turkey finger. So they got a turkey leg mounted in the main hall of the lodge. And it's got the middle finger up, and they got the ponytail hanging off of that.
From that, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
You guys using guns?
Yeah, I was going to ask about firearms. What's your go-to? And obviously there's a few that can do the job, but what would you recommend for people getting into bear hunting to use for firearms?
Honest to goodness, I would, if you're a beginner, It would be 30 caliber. There's other calibers that'll do it. Like you
Leave your 243 at home.
I would leave your
Yeah.
243 at home. That doesn't have enough ass behind it. In a good shooter with good shot placement that is consistent and repetitive with the rifle. Because a 243, you put a 243 into the front shoulder of a bear, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're not going to find that bear, and B, you're probably going to get mauled by that bear after you go looking for it.
Yeah, Scott, you got a story where you shot a bear and
Yeah. Shot a bear in the heart at 100 yards. It dropped like a sack of hammers. High-fived my son. We took out the tags, bear tags. We're walking up the hill towards the bear. It gets up and ran for 250 yards into the thickest spruce you could ever see. And I told my son, I took the shotgun, and we went back to the truck, got the shotgun, and got double-aught buck and slug, just ready to try to find this bear in the thickets, which is a weird feeling. We're going to talk about the dangers of wounded bears. But
I can tell you all about
I
it and
bet you
what to
can.
do and not to do.
Yeah, and my son had the bear spray behind me, and I said, if he comes ripping out to maul me, you spray us both, eh? So anyway, it took a long time to find this bear in this thick bush, because with the long hair, they don't bleed out like a deer.
They don't show that, especially, well, they got a big chest cavity on a bear. And if you hit them high in the lungs, man, that a lot of that'll stay inside. The fat on it.
Yeah.
The bullet hole, unless you blow an exit hole, the entry hole is not gonna give you anything. Like, you'd have to put a 45-70 in hole in, like, to give you any sort of mount, because that gets sucked up right away.
Yeah.
So there ain't no, that's a big thing on a black bear, is you're not gonna get that blood trail. It coagulates very, very, very quickly with the oil that's on the skin of the bear, so it doesn't show.
And the thick fat and the thick hair, like you said.
That hole fills right in.
In the end, we had headlamps on because it got dark. We're like, that's a dead bear. And I'm walking back to the truck, and I nearly step on this thing in the darkness. And
It circled back around.
yeah, he was dead as a doorknob. And then we took him home, skinned him out, gutted him, and it was a heart shot. And that bear got up with the 30-06 180 grain bullet and ran 200 yards. And that was a wake-up call for me, how tough they can be, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when people say, you get attacked by a bear, just, you shoot it. It's like, even if that bear's dying, he can take you down if he wants to, right?
Its dying swipe can kill you.
Yeah.
yeah.
As it's coming in and you're getting barreled, and you put one right in the middle of its forehead, and it was coming down with a swipe, just that momentum of that bear hitting you and hitting, like...
Yeah, take your face right off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there are plenty of stories of guys.
There's plenty of people with half a face.
Yeah, half a face who approach that so-called dead bear, and the thing rears over. It's dying, but it'll take your head right off.
I confirm with anybody that if I didn't see the bear go down, I'll be wary of it. But there ain't no... Personally, myself, I've witnessed the death moan on several occasions, and man, what a scenario.
What's the death moan?
You haven't heard the tell of the death moan? So it's a real type scenario. A bear, when it knows it's on the brink of dying, will commence to letting this hellacious moan out, and they'll just... I don't know, and it's them crying. It's kind of sad, but it's like having sex in a tent, because it's fucking intense.
Yeah.
You know what is it? It's like having sex while camping, because it's fucking intense.
Yeah.
No, I had a bear. I spine shot a bear unintentionally with a bow at 35 yards. I thread the needle through a couple trees, and this bear was coming out looking to predate on me.
Yeah.
Because I was blowing on a doe bleat, and this bear kept coming out, and she knew I was up in a tree and knew I was a hunter.
Yeah.
And she had run in with people before. She had arthritis. She'd come walking out and she would shudder as she walked. Her front
Really,
end
eh?
was so arthritic.
Yeah.
But she had developed a skill of hunting deer. So people don't know that black bear are extremely hard on ungulate population. They'll take fawns, any fawn that they could possibly get.
Yeah.
So this black bear was hunting this water hole, and I'd blow in the fawn bleat, and that black bear would come out and go, "Oh, damn it," and look at me and go, kind of growl and pop its teeth. And
Yeah.
anyways, it charged me one night, come down out of the stand, and
Wow.
I was checking my trail camera, and she fucking bluff charged me on the trail. So I just, get out of here, because I didn't want to blow my spot out for hunting, right? So she dogged me all the way back to the truck, stayed about 30, 40 yards in the tree line from me, popping her teeth and breaking branches and
Yeah.
making noise, escorting me out of her hunting spot, right? And so I got myself a bear tag, and I came back in the next day, and it wasn't 3 minutes after I blew on the doe bleat that bear came right out and broadside shot, let it go, and had a little window through the trees at like 20 yards, and I thought she was at 35. Turns out she was at more like 31, 32, and I hit her high, and she dropped like a sack, let the arrow fly, and it went through that little hole, hit her, she dropped right on the spot, instantly, fucking right down on the spot. And I'm sitting in the tree stand, and I'm shaking, I'm like, get another arrow out, and I'm like, did I just one-shot a bear with an arrow and it dropped dead on the spot? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And then all hell breaks loose. And this bear is running downhill on only its front end. It was dragging its ass behind it, and it's coming down the hill, front end, hand over fist, just flying, roaring. And she's coming right at me. She knew what tree I was in. She knew exactly where I was. She's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm gonna get you." And she came, and I hit her. It was kind of neat, because I never thought I was gonna make a running shot with my bow, and I'd never done it before. And so she's coming at me down that hill, and I let the shot go, and I just caught the backside of her front shoulder. I almost made a great shot. And she reached down, she just like, and looked back at that arrow, and she reached back with her teeth and ripped that arrow out of her shoulder, no bullshit.
Wow.
And looked at me in the tree stand and broke the goddamn arrow. And I'm like, what is happening? So now she's at the bottom of my tree stand, and she's scratching at my tree, and I've never had to make a straight vertical down shot before.
Yeah.
And she ended up rolling, got over onto one side, and I hit her perfect broadside through the heart. And,
Yeah.
but that's when the death moan kicks in. And a bear, like, that thing was resilient. Nothing had taken her out to that point, and she wasn't dying. She went out on a fight, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to been on the ground. I'd had a bear up my ass.
Yeah.
An angry bear with a broken back,
man.
scream, like, and that's what had happened. I had broken her back on that first shot.
They're tough animals, I tell you.
And they take the howling, that just, man, it make your blood run cold.
So, best spot to shoot a bear on the body, they're a little different than an ungulate, where you're looking for the boiler room behind the shoulder or something. What would you tell people? Where are you aiming on the bear?
Top of the heart, double lung.
And where can you find that on the bear? So describe it.
So a big thing about a bear is that the way that its shoulder joints are orientated, that midsection on its leg, if that leg is in the stationary position, it's protecting its heart.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in even a little bit back, it's protecting heart and lungs. The bear has to be stepped forward.
Okay.
On that front shoulder, it is imperative that you let that bear give you the best frontal or slightly quartering away shot as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not shooting out shoulders per se?
No, good God, no.
Okay.
On the exit wound, if you can get a shoulder on the exit, good. You hit a bear in the front shoulder, It's all over. It's all over but the crying. That bear's gonna run into the woods, find a wet hole, ram its shoulder into a mud hole, pack itself full of moss. They're like little medics. They'll go to a wet hole and they'll roll in mud and moss, and they'll pack their wounds full of mud and moss, and then go lay down and lick themselves for 6 weeks, and then they get up. And the leg might work again, might not, but a leg, if it's not going to work again, will get, if it's low enough in the like an elbow shot or upper shoulder shot below the socket, and it doesn't get into that shoulder socket, a bear's leg will fall right off and it'll keep right on trucking.
Wow.
A bear can almost survive gangrene. Like,
Yeah, they are tough.
though,
Absolutely.
there's lots of bears out there in this countryside walking around
Yeah.
with a missing leg or.
Yeah, man.
So it is different than an ungulate, right?
Yeah.
You're not hitting vitals if you're shooting the shoulders.
Yeah.
You got to hit that heart-lung area.
Yeah, a frontal shot on a bear.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing. You must have got it low enough. You hit it because
Yeah.
in that low in that chest cavity. Because if you had hit it higher up, like you'd have got thorax or your esophageal tube and stuff like that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But a frontal shoulder shot, fuck it. See you later.
Gone, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. And
Because
then,
they'll just tuck that one leg up and run on 3 like a bat out of hell.
yeah. I'm curious now, do you want to, like, I want to get into, like, the meat of a bear, too. So, like, when you're making a shot like that, like, maybe we just even break down, like, how you can take full advantage of a bear. So you start with meat. Like, how much meat you getting off a bear? Is it,
Well, you
like,
gotta,
I've never shot one
You
before.
got to skin it out too. And the bear we got last year was a 30-degree-Celsius day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and this thing was in deep. So Thane and I are dragging it home, and we were out camping in the bush. And I told Thane, we're leaving everything. We're heading straight back to town. We got to cool this meat, because I'm primarily a meat hunter. I don't want anything to go to waste. And we worked fast, and that bear was delicious. Spring bear.
Yeah.
It didn't turn green on us. Nice hide. But you also want to, like, if you're skinning out a deer and you're not keeping the hide, you can just go fast. But with the bear,
Yeah.
you're working a little more tricky, right? You're trying to get those
now,
wrist
is it-
cuts and all that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
is it both now? What's the regs this year?
I believe you can keep either hide or meat.
It's one or the other?
It's one or the other, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because for a while you had to do both.
Yeah.
You had to, you had to do something with the hide. And for people that were just going out to eat the things, they couldn't justify spending $800 to have a hide tanned
Yeah.
so that they could eat the bear.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what stopped a lot of people from getting a bear, just to have one to eat.
Because you made bear sausages.
They're
Oh,
great. Bear
amazing.
sausage,
So
bear
good.
ham,
Maybe
Yeah.
the
burgers.
best
Is there bear
sausages.
burgers?
Bear
You
burgers?
can grind it up.
Yeah. Bear burgers.
The big thing, you gotta make sure there's no bear fat. And even, I take the silver skin, get the fillet knife out, and we'll take the silver skin right off the meat groups. So that way you're 100% absolutely no bear fat in your bear fat. You try to scratch that off the roof of your mouth, like it, and it can be a little tangy.
Oh, yeah.
A fall bear would be it all depends. It all depends where the bear's eating.
Yeah.
Sure. If
know-
it's a fish-eating bear, it's going to be fishy. If it's eating clovers, it's
Blueberry bear.
blueberry bear.
I've
It's good,
seen,
yeah.
we've had bears that were blue in hue color. Because we shot them right off a blueberry patch.
They're just eating, yeah, that's their whole
And-
thing, eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people ask me what the meat tastes like. It depends on the bear, but to me, I would describe it if I do a bear roast, it'd be like a sweet-tasting beef roast
It's
with a
only
little
the-
bit of pork to it.
It's
yeah.
the only way I can describe it is it's a sweet beef.
Yeah, sweet beef. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I would describe it.
People
I'm-
a little scared about cooking bear meat.
The trichinosis.
The
right?
trichinosis. And honest to goodness, that was done by the USDA agriculture to scare people off. That was done in like because bear was table fare right up until like pre-World War I or something. I bet
yeah.
you we could Google that.
Well, they
And-
said the mountain men preferred bear over any other game meat.
It was a sign of wealth. So if all these old mountain men pictures and stuff like that, and family farms, and you'll see a bear hide nailed to the barn door.
Yeah.
And that was a sign of wealth and a sign of trade.
Oh, wow.
Because you had a bear, and a bear can be rendered down into fat for lard, for baking, for soaps, medicines, like so.
Gun oil.
Everything.
Yeah.
A very utilitarian item. So if you had a bear on your, you could trade your fat and meat for a pig, or piglets or something, like whatever, and then. So it was something.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
So yeah, back to your question, George. You're like, well, what do you use on the bear? Like everything.
Yeah, so you're getting the meat.
You're getting the meat. You're getting a great hide. Last weekend, I was out sleeping by a fire in a lean-to, and Thane had his bear.
Yeah.
We had no sleeping bags.
Yeah.
No air mattresses, because you don't want that when you've got sparks popping. And I was sleeping under a caribou hide. He had his bear hide.
Yeah.
And it was -10 that night, and we're just fine.
Cozy.
So yeah, use your bear hide, and then the bear grease. I mean, that is super valuable. I rendered mine down. I got six full mason jars.
So how does
full.
that work? You're just boiling it then?
The easiest way that I do is put it in the crock pot on the lowest heat. Put all that bear fat in there and just leave it for a few hours.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of simmering. And then you pour it off. It's like white gold. You fill up these jars. And you can use it like petroleum jelly for wounds.
Oh, it's honestly, it's the only other thing that's made my. You can take pure lanolin. You know what lanolin?
No.
Sheep lanolin. It's from sheep, and it can be used in moisturizer. I use it for my reloading equipment. So I'll take 50 milliliters of lanolin to 1,000 milliliters of alcohol.
Yeah.
And then I shake it around, and then I'll spray it on my brass as my lubricant.
Okay.
So instead of using high-end like reloading shit, I use lanolin mixture. And lanolin is so soft, dude. You get it on your hands, and like even the wife's like, "Oh, your hands are soft." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was reloading today." Just so now Laura actually knows, like when she'll be like, "Oh, were you reloading?" Because my hands are soft.
Yeah.
But bear grease, the rendered lotion, Chrissy Terrio, Dustin's wife, friends of mine, she got a bunch. And that would be, she had made up a bunch of lotion like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, and I mixed mine with the balsam
Yeah.
buds.
The buds there, yeah.
And mixed the bear grease, and that stuff is medicinal. It's painkiller. Randy, our buddy Randy there, who's good with horses, he said growing up, if horses had saddle wounds and that sort of thing, nothing was better than smearing some bear grease in that. They would just heal up immediately. So very medicinal. You can use it as chapstick. You can waterproof your boots.
Are you mixing with something else then too, or is it
If you really want to waterproof good, you add a bit of beeswax into it. And I use it for my leather sheaths on my knives, or you can use it for woodwork.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of bushcraft. You can rub that bear grease and wax into your bow and make it waterproof. Yeah.
Those little bowls you were making too.
The bowls, I rub the bear grease in there. Yeah, so it's wonderful stuff. And I've never used it for this because I don't bake pies, but people say it makes the best pie, flaky pie crust, because it's got a very high burning temp. So if you want to do like a deep fry, here's something that's on the bucket list. Maybe you've done this already, Matt, but I want to take the bear grease, make a fondue from the grease, and roast the chunks of meat in the grease. And I hear that is to die for. So.
The only thing with doing that is you want to make sure you're cooking it.
Oh yeah.
It's hard with fondue not to.
Don't do medium rare.
Slice it really thin.
Yeah. But back to the trichinosis, George, because you asked us about it. It is a worm, and it can be in bears, but it can be in pigs too. That's why you want to cook your bear meat. Some guys are big into bear jerky, and I'm sure it tastes amazing, but you got to get that meat up to at least 160 Fahrenheit to kill trichinosis. And freezing won't do it. You can stick that sucker in the freezer, take it out 4 months later, and
the larvae will survive it.
Yeah.
I do remember something you brought up before where it was like bear meat should be eaten within 6 months or something like that.
That's back to what Matt was saying about the fat. There's so much fat content in there that if you don't get all that fat out, it starts getting a bit rancid tasting. It's still edible, But you've ever had a pork chop or some old pork sausages that were in the bottom of your freezer,
Yeah.
and you pulled them out and you cook them up and they have this funky smell? That's what bear will get like. So I always say, share that bear meat with your friends, eat it within 3-4 months, and it's fantastic. The best meat you'll ever have. But drop it in the bottom of your freezer and take it out a year and a half later, and you're not going to like it.
Not loving it.
Yeah.
We had a friend of mine call me up and ask me if I wanted to take care of a problem bear on a ranch, and that they had thought that it killed one of their dogs. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you don't have a rifle? That my first question was like, what do you? Thanks, man, for asking. You don't have a rifle? And then anyways, he didn't have time to do it. He was renting property for his horses on the ranch. And anyway, so I get out there and I go and investigate, and turns out what they thought was the dog was just a chunk of plastic that the bear was laying on top of, but the dog had gone somewhere else and it did pass away. But old dog. And I was like, well, there is a bear out here. Do you want to take it? They were like, yep, shoot it, get it off the property. So I came back the next day. This is a funny story. So I pack up lunch and I got some scent, like castor oil, and I put it on rags, because you can't bait around here, but that castor scent is it's like vanilla. It's how they make the extract and shit from it.
Okay, yeah.
So anyways, I get up on this hill and I go over where their bear's at, and I can see tracks in the soft, like the dead grass, where a bear had walked up the side of this rock, like side of this hill.
Yeah.
So I went up and I'm sitting on this rock escarpment and I'm looking over a valley on the backside of this ranch, and I sit down, got my drink, got my snack, and I just start screaming on a rabbit call, and I'm just wah, 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 wah. And the thing with the bear is that once you start, you don't want to stop, because a bear can lose interest.
That's right.
They've got to keep them interested. So I'm just screaming on it, and I'm taking a little bit of a break in between, like a 10-minute session.
Yeah.
And I can hear this, I don't know, it's a weird high-pitched call sound, like a bird sound, like a high-pitched chirp.
Yeah.
And it's probably 100 yards away, around that kind of thing, across, down over. And then I hear the same call up behind me. And it almost sounded like the railway tracks were pinging, like that when there's trains coming from a long ways away, and you can hear the ping, ting, 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 ping. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this, but now I can understand that it's not the tracks, and that this call is getting closer. So the one down across from me is now moving closer. It's now like 80 yards, 70 yards, and I'm trying to look and I can't see it. Now it's stationary, and the other one above me up on the hill is making the same call, and it's moving and calling. And the other one down below is calling, and the one up above me's calling. Now it's clued into me what I'm dealing with. I've got two cougars coming in on me, because they're making, if there's a sound that they can make, it almost sounds like a cow elk call, a high-pitched bird call.
It's very bird-like.
And it's a communication, it's a beacon sound.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is locating me, and she's calling her kit in.
I see Matt over here.
Yeah, and it's doing it, and it's coming in tight. And it got to about 60 yards straight uphill, and the one down below made one last call and stopped, and then the one above me stopped. And now I'm like, oh my Jesus, I'm going to be in a gunfight with two cougars. And that's when I heard the branch snap beside me. And I had my 300 Win Mag, and I pulled the rifle up, and I look, and at about 12 yards beside me is a black bear hiding underneath of a fir tree. And it had come crawling up the trail that I had walked in on, and it was sitting underneath the fir tree, and all I could see was its brown snout, and its eyes and its ears were up into the lower branches of the tree.
Yeah.
And I could see the white spot. He had a big white chevron on his chest. And I just put the crosshairs right on that chevron and let it eat. Well, that black bear jumped up like it had been electrified. And remember, I'm sitting on a rock escarpment looking over this valley. Well, that bear must have forgot where it was at, because it ran straight off the rock escarpment and Sonic the Hedgehog and free fell through the air and slammed into the ground like 30 yards below, into a bunch of trees and stuff, and it was dead down there.
Man.
And I'm like, what is going on? And now I know that there's still cougars are in the
around.
area.
You got cougars and a bear, and
So I just got up and I grabbed my bag and I'm like, okay, I came here for a bear. I got the bear.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Let's get out of here. So went down, got the 4-wheeler, came back, loaded it up.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because this ranch had exchange students in doing horse training and trail riding.
Yeah.
So this was just east of town here, Old Entrance Ranch is where this all took place.
Yeah.
right.
And so all these kids are Austria and Norway and Sweden, and here I come hillbilly up over the hill with a 300-pound. It was a good bear. It was a 300-pound boar for a spring bear, and I got him all splayed out on the 4-wheeler, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at that, eh?"
You gave them something to write home about.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna ask you about treating the hide. So what's your recommendation? You skin out your bear. First of all, walk us through what you want to do and don't want to do in skinning a bear if you want to keep the hide. And what are you doing to make sure that that hide is taken to the taxidermist in good shape?
If you're gonna do it by the taxidermy,
Or yourself, regardless,
taxidermy, when you're going up the inside of the armpit, sleeve it out from elbow down. Leave as much material there for, like, you get your diagram, because it's just look up a bear diagram for caping everything out, and leave as much in there as possible. Leave the whole elbow. Don't get down around the pads. Don't even fuck with the pads. Yard that hide down over top of it and pop that knuckle and leave everything in, and leave that cut back from away, because guys will mess up and they'll come flying up with a knife. It's so easy around the wrist on a pad of a bear that when you're coming down with your knife and it'll catch, and then bang, the next thing you know, you slit the pad in half.
Right.
So that's just costing you more money at the taxidermy.
And what are you doing with the head? Are you leaving the whole head in?
Get up to your special vertebrae and pop the head in.
Just leave it in. Don't mess with that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Leave your paws in. Leave your head in. Stay away from that stuff as much as possible.
Are you salting it or just rolling it and chilling it right away? What?
Rolling it and chilling it right away. And
Okay.
Did you guys ever do anything with, like, the claws? You got a claw necklace?
Yeah,
or
I have
anything?
a claw necklace.
Do you?
Yeah, and a tooth
I made-
and a tooth necklace too.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I got I made a bunch of keychains. So I took the 9s out of a couple of my smaller bears
Yeah.
and drilled holes, varnished or epoxied the inside. It's important to epoxy. If you drill through a tooth, epoxy it as best you can, because it dries out the inside and they'll split.
Ah, okay. That's
I
a good
ruined a
tip.
couple before I
Yeah.
figured it out.
I did the same thing. Yeah. I've never had the guts to wear it out, but I still picture one of these days I'm going to be sitting by a fire in a lean-to wearing my bear claw necklace.
You're allowed to own it. You're not
Yeah.
just not. You're allowed to own that sort of stuff, and you're allowed to give it away. You just can't sell anything of it, right?
Why not?
Well, because then people would do it for monetary reasons.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
There's a legal trade on bear claws and gallbladders, so you can't be selling any of that.
Gallbladders. That's I worked with
Oh,
a
I
guy
have a
in
hilarious
Edmonton
story.
that wanted one.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Old Asian guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna say
no.
it's Asian medicine.
Ham. Shout out to Ham.
So, you want me to tell this story?
Yeah, tell the
This
story.
is hilarious. So, being an outfit and lodge, and that you're getting these Americans coming in, the boys had everyone. I loved the gangsters, like the New York Mafia. They actually had mafia men that would come up.
Yeah.
The first year that they came up, they wanted to have their own truck, so they came up into Canada and they're like, take us to the GM dealership. So they went to the GM dealership and they bought two brand new trucks. Then they're like, take us to the 4-wheeler shop. So this little hole in the wall 4-wheeler shop, they're like, 2 brand new 4-wheelers. They're like, gun cases, make sure it's got winches, all the bells and whistles.
Wow.
That one was a good one. I'm getting sidetracked. That's a great story.
I want that much money though.
The gangsters were cool. And when they left, they sold one of the trucks and gave one of the other trucks to the guys at the lodge.
So
Wow.
they
were
tipped well.
They're
right?
like,
tip.
well, you can't have both of them, but you can have one of them because they drove one truck. They drove the one truck home.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
loaded everything up and drove the one truck home, but left the 4-wheeler. And anyways,
They were coming for a gallbladder?
yeah. So these Asian guys came in, and Dad knew what the gig was right from the get-go, and they were from. They used a lot of guys from New Jersey, New York, that sort of stuff, all the way down the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
And they knew they wanted the gallbladder. It was very important that they got the gallbladder on this bear.
Mm-hmm.
So they shoot it, and it's hot, very hot spring, and they shoot this bear. Well, these Asian gentlemen wanted the bear whole because they wanted to shoot the bear, even though they paid for a whole week. They wanted to shoot the bear, load the bear in the truck, and take it, and then go all the way to the States whole.
Wow.
Guts in it, the whole 9 yards.
Jeez.
Which is like, you've got to get these guys to sign doc paperwork being like, no, but anyways,
Wow.
Dad knew what they were. He's like, guys, we'll take the organs out. There's an organ sheet. You can keep every organ in it. It's totally legal. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's a legally tagged bear.
Yeah.
No, we want this. Well, lo and behold, it was a big schmozzle. So they shot it the day before. It stays in the shop all night, full guts, everything. And this is in a hot spring.
Exploded, man.
Well, they get it into the. Dad says, I want nothing to do with this. So the
Yeah.
owner of the lodge is like, he's the only one that would deal with it. All the guides are like, nope, you couldn't pay me enough money to deal with these people and deal with that. And so they get them loaded up the next day, and they take off to the border. Well, first thing in the morning, they get to the border. Well, now they're hung up at the border because the Border Patrol has never seen anything like this
Yeah.
before. Like, usually
They got the AC cranked.
they got usually they have coolers with meat. They
Yeah.
have the hide. They don't have a full animal with the guts in it and
Yeah.
everything in. Like, what is going on here? So now they're hung up until noon at the border, and it's in the back of a vehicle. No air maybe air conditioning. I don't
Yeah.
know. This is in the 90s.
man.
So now one of the guides has to go to the border, which is an hour away. So they get there, and Dale gets there, and I guess he had to open it up, and they had to inspect the bear and roll it around, but they wouldn't do it. They had to have somebody else do it. Well, they get there, and I guess the sounds that this bear was making when they were rolling it around, and it gets gurgling like the gases are escaping. And the Border Patrol officer puked on the spot. Like, it farted and let a bunch of gas out, and everybody fucking. Dale telling the story is priceless. He says, I swear you could still hear it gurgling. And they got him through the border, and that was the last time that they ever heard from the people again.
Yeah.
Oh, that gallbladder would have just been nasty, though.
Everything's rotten.
Rotten.
Everything in it by that
Yeah.
point, and let alone driving it down to wherever they were going with it.
Disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Because
that
that
story.
hide just holds that heat in. Like, even if you left it overnight, it'd
it would be
Yeah.
boiling.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Have you guys used the gallbladder before?
No,
No,
I'm not an organ man at all. On deer, elk, nothing.
I always keep the hearts. I love the
I'm
hearts.
sorry. I like it. I like the chewy texture of a heart. I don't eat a lot of them though. I don't.
I do the
Hearts
heart.
in all animals taste the same, right?
Yeah, heart in the crock pot, man. Put it into little stew chunks. Put it in the crock pot. It's to die for. It's wonderful.
Mine are usually exploded.
Yeah.
Dude,
Laser shots.
No, I've actually the couple of them. I've turned them inside out. Most of my deer, I rattle into 30 yards, and they're standing here looking at me, snorting,
Yeah.
and I just
Yeah.
whoop.
He just shot the microphone off
Yeah.
his chest. Yeah. Yeah. No, those are some great stories, man. So I'm sitting here, folks. You can't see. He's wearing a cowboy hat, Matt, and he's got a rattlesnake,
It's a real one.
and a real rattle on.
Rattle in it.
So tell us the story about the hat.
Laura, I always wanted. It's I don't know if you call it a cowboy hat, but it's a Stetson, but it's just a crushed, soft one,
Yeah.
and it's more of, what do you call it, the gambler or the rambler or whatever,
A gunfighter. Yeah.
gunfighter. But I like it. I always wanted one, growing up,
Yeah.
and my wife surprised me with it. The rattlesnake, I wish I had a real. Give me 2 seconds, and I could make one up off the top of my head just as I talk. But no cool story behind the rattlesnake other than I went to Arizona with my wife and my in-laws, and they were on a shelf. We went to a gold rush town, and there was a little basket full of native rattlesnakes from Arizona.
Yeah.
And they're legal to have, and I found out that I was legal to carry it across the border, so I was like, yeah. And it's a little big word for the day is ostentatious, but
I do like that word.
Does it rattle if you shake it? Oh, put it close to the mic so the folks can hear it. There you go. Right on.
Matt came over to a poker game a few months ago with his rattlesnake hat on. Man, it was the hit.
Yeah.
The kid loved it too. He's like, huh?
I let Simon win that one. I was
Congrats,
like,
Simon.
hey man, do you wanna go 50? Do you wanna just, because I had him beat like 3-1 on the pot size. I could have just strong armed him out of the game, but we did a flip to win.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then I didn't win. But then I gave my $60 to George and told him to buy beer for the shed.
There you go.
We got another poker game coming up next week, man.
Nice,
So
nice.
See, I got invited. Again.
That's how you get invited again.
I might have tried to win the whole table, but I got invited back.
So, boys, I got some good would you rathers here, but you're going to
nice.
have to let me walk through 4 of them because we're dealing with the danger of bears, and I did want to talk to Matt here about. I prefer not to hunt alone when I go for a black bear because if you're following up on a shot, you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like if you're in thick bush. So what are your thoughts on? You mentioned you had 3 cougars and a bear, but are you typically hunting alone with your bear? I guess in a tree stand you are.
A lot of my bear hunting, when I had the veterans out doing that stuff, it was all spot and stalk. We just went and located a bear and then set up on it. Around here, we have the luxury of prime territory to just drive around and locate bears. Sorry, what you asked me again, Scott? What's the question?
Well, here's the deal. I'll explain it from my experience. I've shot well over 200 deer, elk, moose, whatever. When you're following up on a deer that's shot, you're just looking for that deer. When you shoot your first bear, you're like, oh shit, this thing could kill me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it changes the whole game. And usually it's at dawn or dusk. So the headlamp goes on. You're going to leave that bear to do its hour of doing its thing. And now you're in the dark going after what you think was a good shot. You hope it was a good shot, and you're by yourself. That's just not a good feeling. So I like to have a second hunter with me at a time like that.
In the dark, it was rule of thumb growing up at our lodge was that if a bear went down, unless the temperature was insanely high, and you think it was a foul shot, like if you started tracking it and it got to dark and you didn't know, like you leave the bear. They had too many situations where hunters would promote their shot saying, oh yeah, it barrel rolled. That's a big indicator. You see a bear jump up in the air and then it does the barrel roll, that's a real good hit.
Yeah.
Jumping alone in itself, like with any animal, when they jump and kick, it's a good hit. If they haunch and squat,
Shot.
It's a bad one.
Yeah.
If they haunch at all, you see their ass end go down and they're like, oh, I gotta take a shit real quick.
Right.
And then they run off, that's bad business.
Yeah.
If you see a bear spin, I don't want to say spin, they'll do a stutter step and then they'll almost run sideways and kind of go at themselves a little bit. That's a bad shot. You drove him in the shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wish everybody could see me what I'm doing, but
He's like driving a lawnmower right
Exactly.
now.
yeah,
Pushing a
you'll see,
lawnmower.
and they'll kind of stutter step sideways, and they'll, because it didn't hurt them, it hurt them bad, but it was the impact, and they'll kind of almost look at it, and immediately you see that, get another round in it immediately.
Yeah, quick.
But that's a good question right there. Are you firing until the thing's down?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If it runs, get another round in it.
Okay.
Because the last thing you want to be doing is looking for a bear in a thicket with a headlamp on.
Yeah.
It was
injured.
very,
Yeah.
very, 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 very rare that those guys ever, and they were like those guys actually knew what they were doing, that they went bashing through the woods after a bear.
Yeah.
It's, boys, if it's down, we'll find it in the morning. If it's not down in the morning, we'll find it later this morning.
And if you left it to the morning, would you find that they were bloated and green by then, or how was the meat?
I don't see in that we didn't get to hear a lot of that. Like, so most of the time at the lodge and stuff, those guys are packing it up. Everything's usually pretty good overnight. If those bears in the areas, I'm covering my mic.
Don't
up.
cover your mic, man.
Sorry. In the area that those guys were hunting, that if a bear ended up laying overnight, it's laying in cedar swamps, it's laying in cool, damp, boggy areas. So it's going to be all right till the morning.
Yeah.
Like, the temperatures still drop down into the single digits type thing.
Right.
But again, they're more worried, like on those hot. I know the guys came back with getting their headlamps and stuff on. They had all the gear to go looking for them. But if the temperature was fine, we'll find it in the morning, boys.
Just leave it.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that sets the tone for our would you rather. So, hypothetical. Sometimes you're in the bush and you forgot your bear spray and you have bear encounters. I've had some of my scariest close bear encounters, cubs at my feet, grizzlies coming towards me, without bear spray and without a firearm. So
Yeah.
these are not far-fetched. So I'm going to walk you through 4 questions. I want you to think about these, okay? Would you rather fight a bear? So we're talking to bears charging.
Yeah.
You have, I think I know what you're going to pick on this one, a spear or a machete.
Spear.
So Matt says spear, George.
Well, I was thinking machete, but now that Matt said spear, I'm like, yeah. No, I'll go machete.
Okay, I'm going spear with Matt. I like that. I like the distance, but yeah.
You poke that bear once at 8 feet, and you reach out and sting that bear. If it's not on a full bore, but if it's giving you a bluff charge and you give it a poke, it'll be like, oh.
Well, and the machete's just a close range,
A little too
right?
close.
You get
Yeah.
one swipe with that. You better make that one swipe real good.
That spear's a bit
Get a little
mid-range, right?
machete
You got
practice.
far range, mid-range, and close range. To me,
Thrusting
machete
power.
is
You
Okay.
could
close.
drive a spear right through a bear.
I'm standing by my answer. I'm going
Okay.
machete.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
okay.
Conviction's important.
Good.
Right.
That's right. No right or wrong answers
I
here.
just
We're
feel like
try-
so he gets past the spear, and he's on you. Like he's on top of you, and you got your spear. Like you're trying to like move your stick around. Like I got my machete, he's on top of me. And,
Okay.
you know,
Gotcha. Okay.
you got one shot with the spear.
This one's a little worse. Bear comes charging out. This one's more
I'm not throwing
realistic,
that. I don't
actually.
keep on to it.
Because most
Sorry.
of us aren't carrying spears or machetes. This is more realistic. Would you rather fight a bear with a walking stick or a hunting knife? You've got
Walking
your hunting
stick.
knife here on your
What kind of walking stick? Are we talking a shillelagh with a killing knob on the end
Well,
of it? Or are
okay,
we talking
so
a-
this, when I talk
Yeah.
a walking stick, I'm not using these little dainty aluminum
He knows what I
poles.
meant when I said
I
shillelagh.
know what the shillelagh is. Yeah, that's
It's
that's for clubbing the
It's old
Englishmen.
It's old men in Ireland for beating each other to death in the street
Oh, yeah?
after they drink too many pints.
Yeah,
It's
got
a-
a knob on the end,
And it's hardwood and it's hard, like iron, hard,
made of
hard, dense.
hawthorn or something. Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
meant
But
for
yeah,
breaking
good walking,
skulls.
good sturdy walking stick. Mine are usually 6 feet tall and solid.
Yeah,
Or a hunting knife.
Matt, you're going walking stick?
If I had a shillelagh, I don't know. No, I think at that point, a walking stick, I think I could just I have a knife and I can just pick up a stick off the side. I don't know, man. That's a hard one.
You got to pick one. You can't go home till you pick one.
I go out my shield with a knife.
What is
taking
your
the knife?
What is your knife? You got like a 5-inch fixed
Yeah.
blade?
Oh
Show
yeah,
us your
this
knife
one's
here.
a custom one. A veteran buddy of mine, Daryl Barker with Barker Custom Blades.
Yeah.
This was one of his first knives. There's a very cool story behind this knife because it went in a raffle. I couldn't afford one of his knives. Like, he deserves to get paid for what he does. And so he was having raffles. So I bought a ticket. And he goes on that
is sweet.
random.org. And it was one out of 20.
Very
And
nice.
he went to random.org and he went 1 out of 20. And my number was 19.
Yeah.
He spins it as the practice run. 19 pops up and I'm like, no, all my karma's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I'm like, no, that was my chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? He's like, all right, everybody's doing it live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, everybody, we're going to go live here and we're going to, okay, first roll, 19. And I'm like, no. It went 19, 19, 9, and then 19 again. Out of 3 out of 4
Yeah.
rolls out of 1 out of 20, it went 19 3 times. I was jumping up and down in my living room, screaming at the top of my lungs like I had won $1 million.
Yeah.
So I just want to describe this
Oh, yeah.
before I hand it back to you. It looks like a 4-inch drop point. We got a full tang. Some sort of burl, hey? It's not curly birch, but it's a burl
We'll
handle.
can we take a picture of it and put it in the
Yeah,
show?
Quite
absolutely.
beautiful.
They,
And it's sharp as a razor blade.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
As
you
they say, an outdoorsman is only as sharp as his knife, and Matt passed the
Yeah.
course there, yeah.
Matt, put it on the stumper. I'll take a picture of it so I don't forget. 'cause
you
I
can
know.
shave. You can shave with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
shave
bet
with
you
it.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a sweet looking knife.
Yeah. Okay, so walking stick or hunting knife, you guys are taking, did you tell us, George, you taking walking stick or hunting knife?
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna go hunting knife. Machete and hunting knife.
Okay, so
Just walking stick seems like another one where you run out of. You have one chance and
This
then.
is
Yeah.
this is a cooler picture, and you do it with the fire in the background.
he's setting up the picture
Oh, right,
here in the
okay.
stump. Yeah.
Scott
There
does
you-
want us to make this video or this podcast video, Matt. Should
We
do it?
will.
Oh yeah.
We should have
All
it. Then
right.
we can see the rattlesnake hat and all that.
Yeah.
So George is taking a picture here. As he's doing that, I want to talk us through the walking stick or hunting knife.
That is a better picture. Yeah.
You guys know Morse Kahansky, probably the most famous Canadian bushcrafter, survival expert. He would talk about making a bear bat. If you're in the bush and you don't have your bear spray, almost like a baseball bat. And I would say that's a great weapon for a black bear. On a grizz, I would just say, maybe not so good. But hunting knife is definitely close quarter, and people have protected themselves on full-on attacks in the tent or even maulings from a grizzly with a hunting knife.
We need to talk about the great Canadian inventor who developed bear-proof armor
Yeah.
using spider silk, synthetic spider silk that he developed. He actually built that bear-proof armor, and the video of it's hilarious. But he sold that to the Canadian military that then developed it to turn it into ballistic armor, and they refined it. And it's state-of-the-art stuff.
Oh, really?
And it was all developed because he got attacked by a grizzly bear.
And I saw him get hit by a pickup truck with that thing.
And the swinging
Oh my
the wood beam down and hit him, and then he went to the bar in Chilliwack and walked in and gave all these bikers, drunk bikers, crowbars, baseball bats, and 2x4s to beat him up in the parking lot. And because he had this bear-proof armor, but
Yeah.
they hurt him because they were hitting him in like the joints and shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, yeah.
He jumps
wow.
up. They put a mattress on the front of an old square body Chevy. A mattress. They have a mattress bungee corded to the front grill of a Chevy, and they drove at him at 35 kilometers an hour, and he jumps in the air with this 200-pound suit on, and it yeets him through the back of his backyard and like slams into trees and shit.
Yeah, he was famous for a while. I know he was from Chilliwack. I wonder whatever happened to that guy. If
Are
he's
those
listening,
videos on YouTube?
Oh, he's a millionaire. He sold that engineering to the Canadian military. Like, he's on a beach somewhere just chilling.
Okay,
it worked
dude,
out for him.
if you're listening to this podcast, give us a call. We'd love to interview you
Yeah.
on your bear suit, because that was a big deal for quite a while. I
He
remember
was a
that.
laughing stock. Everybody thought he was this crazy kook, and then he turned it into $1 million idea.
Okay, so first we had, stay with me, boys. We had spear versus machete. Then we had walking stick versus hunting knife. Now we've got shotgun versus bear spray. Charging bear, Shotgun versus bear spray. What are
Can
you
I
doing?
pick the shotgun?
Oh yeah, this is your choice. What do
Oh,
you,
semi-automatic with double-aught buck.
okay, semi-auto, double odd, and you're doing that on Grizz too, eh?
Oh yeah, 6 shots right to the face. Just pow, 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 pow.
Okay. How about you? How about you, George?
That does sound like the trick. I'm gonna go with Matt does. Yeah. Shotgun versus bear spray. I've listened to your bear presentation, Scott, and it seems like bear spray might be the one that scares him away, whereas shotgun might annoy him a bit more.
It's an interesting one because situation dictates, right? Not
there you
every
go. Thank
situation
you.
is the same.
Yeah.
If you're in a tent, your bear spray is pretty much useless
Yep.
if that bear's coming through the
You're
wall of the
seasoning
tent.
yourself is
Yeah.
all you're doing.
Yeah. And if you do know how to shoot well, shotgun's probably the right choice. But many people, when their life is in danger, a bear's running in at 40 feet a second, can you place a good shot? That's
Don't need
the
to. Right
question.
from the hip, baby. Fucking bow, 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 bow. There's just going to be a wall of hate going down range right here.
Yeah. Now, if you've got a pump action, though, or a double barrel,
You'll get one shot.
Yep.
The grizzly bear's moving too fast.
he's moving so quick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tricky one. Folks, you think about that tonight when you're falling asleep. Okay, my last one of the 4 on fighting a bear. A bow or a spear?
Spear.
Yes, spear. I mean, I would choose spear this time because it does. I mean, bow, you got one shot,
Yeah.
and even that shot, depending on placement.
Unless you're that guy without hands with his bare feet.
Oh man, yeah, buck.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like, yeah, no, it's a spear over a bow.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Now, at distance, like if I was in life or death and I was,
Yeah, if it's not a charge, then I'm going bow. But if it's a charging bear, I'm going spear.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think we're mostly aligned on these, fellas.
I do have a couple would you rathers too that I posted on Instagram, so that people could like vote on them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, here's the first one. Would you rather have a black bear walk past your ground tent or your hammock? You guys ever sleep in a hammock when you're camping?
I've tried it once and I got so eaten by mosquitoes that I vowed to never do it again.
They have enclosed hammocks and
Well,
stuff.
this was long before. This was in the 80s.
I had a guy sleeping one.
Sticking to
and
that vow.
he didn't have a good night. He didn't get a whole lot of sleep.
The other thing I don't like, I felt really entrapped. So if you think of a bear coming around and you're in your hammock, you're already in this sausage tight sleeping bag.
Burrito is what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
you're
They
a
already
burrito
rolled up.
or a pinata, right?
Yeah.
I've had bears approach my tent. It's in my book.
Well, they
last
just
chapter.
reach up. I'd rather them, because they'll reach up, they're curious. They'll reach up and grab something and put their paw on it.
Sure.
And they can't retract their claws, so they're going to drag their claws on it.
Yeah.
I'd rather them drag it on a side of a wall tent than a...
I'm taking the tent for sure.
Okay.
'Cause-
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with your arms cozy up there. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, folks,
With my
if
semi-automatic
a bear
shotgun.
comes to your tent, don't cower in fear inside your tent and pray for the best. You've got to face that bear, as scary as it is. Put on your headlamp, open that zipper, and face that bear with your bangers, your bear spray,
Yeah.
your knife, whatever you got. Because you cower in there, that bear's got hours of time. And I've talked to
Oh,
people.
they'll plan it out. Black bear, predatory black bear.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world you could get on your hands is a predatory black bear, because it'll eat your guts out while you're kicking and screaming and praying to God, and
Yeah.
instead of fighting back.
Yeah.
It pins its ears back and gets low to the ground, and if they don't do that, because they kind of don't pin their ears back, they'll they roll their ears to the side, and they'll be looking at you, and they'll just walk behind you like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And because you'll be like, oh, get out of here, bear. Hey, bear. And it's like, oh, yeah. And it's staying 30 yards behind
Oh yeah.
you.
So that's my next question on here. Let me give the results
You
from
better
Instagram
start throwing
here.
sticks and rocks at that bear.
Yeah.
That's a problem bear.
So
And
the
it's likely going to be a year and a half old, 2 years old. And
Well, before George asks his question, because I was teaching bear safety this week,
yeah.
a lot of people think a predatory bear is going to be a Hollywood bear standing on his hind legs roaring. That's not what they do. They are a curious bear. They're moving in on you, looking behind bushes and trees, and that's the dangerous predatory
It's looking for its
response.
opportunity, baby.
Yeah, it's sizing you up. So if you're ever in that situation, don't be prey, don't scream and run, stand your ground, fight back.
Instagram agrees with you guys. 67% said ground tent. So that leads into the next question, though. So would you rather have a black bear sniffing around your tent at 2 a.m.
Been there,
or following you down the trail?
been there both times.
I think I'd rather have a bear walk by at 2 a.m. and give me a sniff than have one come up and trailing me.
Trailing you.
I'm taking the trail because I've had both, and in the night
yes, it's
you feel like
You're
a
vulnerable.
slab of meat. I'm assuming because it's a trail, it's daytime, and what I've done is I've actually pulled the bear spray and ran at the bear, and
yeah.
that felt way better than being vulnerable in a tent.
That's how we got that big boar, because he wouldn't come out of the tree line, so I just went in after him. We had clear line of sight to where he was, and I went in and caused a ruckus, and I grabbed a tree, and I was shaking a tree and jumping around, and he finally, he was back in the bushes clacking his jaws, and then finally he came out into the open to be like, whoa, I'm a big boy too, and he came out and stopped. And then he rolled down. He damn near rolled right in the back of the truck.
73% agree with you guys, or while following you down a trail at 2 p.m. is what they would prefer. And then the third one was, would you rather have a bear's amazing sense of smell or the ability to climb trees?
Census. Oh man, I almost said smell, but you'd smell everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're a bear, everything smells good.
Yeah. A dead fish over there? I'm on it.
Yeah.
That's some KFC wrapped on around a tree.
I can climb a tree.
I can climb a tree pretty damn good, and my wife says I have the nose of a bloodhound. Like, I can smell crazy things. It's this big German beak I've got here. So
Yeah.
I smell things that almost nobody does. But I'm going with the sense of smell. That'd be pretty amazing.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Sense of smell enhances your taste too. Probably.
Yeah.
And
It
that
does.
seems in humans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you probably get this too when you're hunting. You'll smell elk. You'll
Oh.
smell bear on a trail.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's been elk here, and then I look and there's tracks and scat, and I
I
can
see
smell
sickening
them.
sweet, and I'm instant with black
Yeah,
bear.
it's the barnyard smell. Sometimes the bear will have that smell.
I'm climbing trees. I'm picking climbing trees.
You're climbing trees.
Oh
eh?
yeah. I have like zero sense of smell as it is right now, and so I can eat anything. I'm just not affected by
Yeah.
taste. So
Yeah, I love spicy food.
Yeah.
But-
Do you like spicy food because of that?
no, I don't know. I don't think it's COVID, but I lost like my sense of smell. It's went down so much in the past few years,
Oh yeah.
and so
Does your wife ever say you stink?
yeah.
I'm gonna ask her later.
And so Instagram said on that one they would rather have 43% sense of smell, 57% ability to climb trees. So thanks everyone that responded to those and voted on that.
Yeah. Very deep philosophical questions.
Thank you.
I got some more here. We're not done yet. This is a realistic situation. You've got a grizzly sow and cubs attacking. You've got two choices. Are you playing dead or attempting to swim away in a lake?
Oh, I'm swimming. I ain't laying down.
Okay.
No
Walk us through that.
A sow and
doggy
a grid.
paddle?
Well, I don't know. Play roundabout with trees until I can get myself to the lake and then jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can swim, but you're feeling better about doing the evasion.
Yeah. Oh, the thought if fight or flight kicks in. I've had real fight or flight kick in for me, and the lay down thing doesn't come into effect.
Yeah.
I'll do anything. Like
To me, play dead is the very last thing I would ever do.
I would have to once I'm knocked down.
Yes.
And they have a hold of my back. If I can get my hands clasped around my neck
Yeah.
and my knees to my rib cage, but not until I'm knocked down. I'm gonna do everything I can until I get knocked down. But once you're knocked down, you're fucked.
Yeah, then you're totally at the mercy of the bear. George, what are you doing? You swimming away? Are
But
you?
the thing is, so you're saying that if you play dead, they'll just leave you alone and go away.
Well, not necessarily. They might chew you up.
Oh,
They might kill you. They might scalp you.
No, I want the one where they just pretend that I'm dead and then walk away.
No, with cubs, the chance that you actually do get bitten on top of the head
Yeah.
or stepped on, raked a couple times.
Yeah.
Because mama don't play no games.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a bear attacking someone in the water? Like
Yes.
going into the water
Yes.
and grabbing a swimmer? Like
Yeah,
a
Well,
shark?
because they'll drown moose.
They will. Then they can swim well. But here's the thing: if you are going to swim away
I'm
from
going to
a
introduce
bear,
that to the kids' bathtub story next time. It's like, I know you're scared of sharks, but wait to hear about bears.
if you need to evade a bear swimming,
Yeah.
dive underneath so they can't see you.
I was gonna say I
Right?
could dive down and you could
Like-
like a loon, you could pop, bloop, and then swim
Totally.
over here and pop up,
That's
and then
what I'm
drive
doing.
down and come over here.
Dive down, swim as far as you can, come up, get a breath.
Man.
Now you've got evasion. But
Play
if you're,
whack-a-mole
Story
in the
that would
lake.
be, eh?
if you're swimming, that bear's going to catch you. Like if you're on the surface doing a front crawl,
Yeah.
she'll get you.
Yeah.
But if you go under the water, she don't know where you are. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, because I've seen videos of them go on calf moose. They'll charge in the mama trying to get away, and then the grizz will just run out and charge into that water. And
Yeah.
at 3 or 4 splashes, and then
Oh, and they're good swimmers. They're full of fat and buoyant hair. Like they're bobbing along like a cork. So yeah, you got to go under the water and swim away.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a swim.
Yeah.
Sounds like a better ending.
As we say, it's disgusting, but when bears do attack, they usually take the head bites, the face off, the scalp. So you got to protect that head and face for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, I had a private meeting with a gentleman. He wrote a book called. He was attacked down west of Cochrane 3-4 years ago, and he had a harrowing event. He went on a North American tour with his survival thing. Like, he crawled out of the woods on his hands and knees through the mountains, made it to a trapper's cabin, got mauled several times throughout the whole ordeal. Like, I met him, it was me and 4 other guys sitting in a basement drinking whiskey, and he's right beside us, clipping through the slideshow, telling us everything, and we're
Wow.
sitting there with him. Like,
And his face all
Is
stapled.
this the guy?
yeah,
Yeah. He's
Face-
coming.
face
It's,
all stapled?
Jeremy Evans.
yeah,
Known
Jeremy,
as the
yes.
Grizzly Dude.
The Grizzly Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
I've got his hats.
He's coming to the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo
It's
go.
this summer.
it's a
chat with
story.
him.
It's
Yeah.
a story of survival. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that sow did it, unspeakable things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he's sitting there having him tell the story. That was something. I had my son with me. I'm like, Brennan, you're gonna hear some stuff, and
Yeah.
you just sit here and listen. He's like, okay, Dad.
What was his the ending of the story? Is he moving on with life? Like this is how?
Oh
you
yeah,
accept
no,
it
he's
sort of
doing
thing?
fine. Like, he's working away at this,
Yeah.
and this is what he's doing, kind of thing. And he does all right with it.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah.
Well, and that kind of leads me to my next question, because I've read every bear attack I could find, and again, they're pretty disgusting. Usually people are scalped and often lose their jowls and their eyes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they do go for the head.
They
something
go for
awful.
the head and face because that's the way they fight each other. Bears fight on the face.
Oh, okay.
And so the question is, I know this one's pretty dark, but it's late.
I think we're there.
Would you
love it.
rather lose your face and scalp in a bear attack or lose your life? And for people who've been attacked,
Wow.
that's a real scenario.
Yeah.
And you guys who survive, they often have multiple surgeries and, staple
Well,
skin off their thighs and that sort of thing.
Him, and that would be the prime example for
Yeah.
that, like the reconstructive surgeries that he probably went through, and
Yeah.
that's something.
What are you choosing there, Matt?
Well, I can't say it because my wife will listen.
You got to go for the surgeries.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You're
you
going
gotta.
surgeries?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've already had my fun. Scar this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already figured I'd go out in a wild streak anyway.
I feel like it might make me better looking. Line some things up better or something. I don't know.
But there was one guy I was in the army with. He was actually went to Afghanistan. He was in a roadside bomb, and this kid had piercingly like that ice blue eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super duper ice blue eyes, like cool anyways. But he took a piece of shrapnel across the face in a suicide bombing, and he ended up going to Germany, to the big hospital in Germany, and he got 85% of his vision back, but his eye went white.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
And he had this
Could you still see from it?
yeah, oh, he's fine, like, but I quote unquote fine, but he could see out of that eye.
Yeah.
But he had a lateral slash from across his brow, and then that's what took out the blue, and then across his cheek.
Whoa.
So he had this like just crazy ass scar across his face, and everybody's like, dude, you're gonna get laid so much, right? Being young guys, and we're all like, whoa, cool.
That's
if anybody
wild, eh?
remembers Gargoyles, the
Yeah.
cartoon Gargoyles,
Yeah.
the old grandpa Gargoyle, because he had his name was Scar, and he had a scar, and his eye was like that. Anyways,
Wow.
that was we laughed about that shit.
wild.
Yeah, I think I got to go with the reconstructive surgery as well. I just hope it looks as cool as your buddy there.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It could go horribly in the other direction.
Yeah.
So before we move on to other questions, tell us about your military service there.
It was a long time ago. I tell like it almost seemed, yeah, it's a lifetime ago, because we're working on 20 years now. So I graduated high school in 01, and I started working a factory, and I worked in that factory. It was crazy. We were making so good money as young kids in this factory. And but yeah, 9/11, I get off night shift. Dad didn't like me working there because I was smoking too much dope and drinking too much beer and making too much money too early in life. Like, it just,
Yeah.
it was a recipe for disaster. and,
Yeah.
And yeah, I got off night shift, and I was frying bacon, and I heard Dad say, "Hey, Matty, come in here, check this out." And the tone in his voice was different. So I went in the living room, and then we were standing there, and then sure as hell, yeah, we watched the second plane hit the tower.
Right.
Oh wow.
And Dad and I looked at each other, and he was like, "Oh, this isn't good."
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I was like, well, here's my chance. So of course, being young and foolish and had something to prove, because I always looked up to my father, outdoorsman, and everybody looked up to Mac Ritchie. He was the man's man, right? So I went and signed up, and I went to basic training in Victoria, Esquimalt, British Columbia, just across the bay from Victoria.
Yeah.
The old PPCLI barracks that they had derelict and put out of service due to black mold and this other stuff. But the war kicked off, so they needed a training place.
Crack
so
her open
they
again,
fired
yeah.
her right up again. I think the only thing they did different, they had us do, was polish the brass and be like, "Hey, it's good."
Yeah.
The old asbestos tiles and everything. Anyways, but yeah, I went to basic there, and then did battle school, and it was the last battle school course. So that's basically trades training. So I was infantry, so I'd go to battle school for 16 weeks, and you learn how to shoot a little better, and
Yeah.
map and compass and machine guns, and kicking somebody in the nuts and fighting with a knife a little bit or whatever. And did that, and then went to Petawawa, and then I worked with 1 RCR mechanized, so we were working with the Lavs. They're the 8-wheeled armored vehicle with the 25 millimeter cannon out of the top. So they're an APC, an armored personnel carrier.
You practicing with those in Canada?
The LAV 3, yeah, it's our primary carrier unit, because it's a troop support, armored, gunning. That 25 mil chain cannon's a nasty operator.
Yeah.
Because it's super accurate for kilometers, and it just thump, 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 and it's blowing through cars and buildings. And
Yeah.
like, if a 25 came through here, it would blow through your shed, blow through your garage.
Not the
blow
garage.
through-
No, that.
It would,
Not the man cave.
Come on.
yeah, it'd
Shooting
do
at
some
this one
serious
for?
damage. Well, anyways, we're getting sidetracked.
So
Yeah.
you are already a good shot from all your hunting.
Yeah, I got a top. That was my little shiny star. I got top shot awards all the way through
Nice.
all my military training, and yeah, that was kind of funny because I was supposed to go on the top shot team, and I was going to go to Ottawa and compete, but Afghanistan was really kicking off for us.
Yeah.
So we went to Wainwright. We did build up for the last Bosnia tour. And one RCR was going to be shutting down Bosnia. And that's who I was working with. And we had it was funny because at the end of operation, they had us all up on a side hill. And there's like 300 infantry guys sitting on a side hill. No, there wouldn't have been that many. It was 3 companies. Yeah, anyways. But they went through all the picks, and I didn't get picked. And then they went through like the 10% pool, like the guys that would get called up. And then they went through 25% pool and 50% pool, and you're left with a bunch of fat, broken down assholes or useless people. And I'm like,
They're the guys that aren't going overseas
anywhere
then.
doing anything in life,
Gotcha,
let
yeah.
alone in doing something that has to do with
Yeah.
doing something. But yeah, and I'm like, and I'm looking around, and there's a handful of other guys that should have went somewhere, and I'm like, son of a,
Yeah. What? Yeah.
what's going on here?
What happened?
So I go back, and my sergeant major pulled me aside, and he's like, so are you going to Bosnia? I said, no, sir. And he's like, do you want to go to Afghanistan? I said, yes, sir. And he asked for these 3 sergeants, and I was standing there smoking. Well, the funniest part about the whole thing was he came up to me in the smoke pit. He's standing there looking at me. And he's like, I shouldn't have to ask for one of those fucking things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sorry, sir. And I pulled I'm a young private, and I pulled my smokes out and fucking give him
Yeah.
a cigarette. And I'm like, and he's like, then that's when he asked me going to Bosnia, and I said no. And then he's like, you want to go to Afghanistan? And I said, yes, sir. And he says, I need Sergeant Annell, Sergeant Antworth, and whoever. And I said, yes, sir. And I standing there, and I'm still smoking my cigarette. And he's like, what the fuck are you still smoking your cigarette for? And I was like, oh, yes, sir. And I run off and went and found those 3 sergeants and told them they needed to report to Sergeant Major. So yeah, and that's how I end up going to 3 RCR Para. So this is an old one, but it used to be called 3 RCR. It was Para Regiment. It was the whole thing, but they ended up the Airborne Regiment.
Okay.
3 RCR Airborne Regiment.
Yeah.
And there was some shenanigans that went on in the 90s over in Africa. Didn't work out for everybody too well. We won't go into details.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so they shut that whole operation down and kind of rallied everybody in, and then they changed the names of the different companies.
Oh, yeah.
And it was no
It's a
longer the
new
Airborne
situation.
Regiment. Yeah, they were godless heathens that were just off the chain. What? Yeah, you'd want them to go to war for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for war fighters, those boys were, they were the last real breed of war fighter.
Yeah.
And ours, like, there's still a few of them, but they're kind of getting defanged lately.
And that's who you went with?
Yeah, so I went with those guys. I got handpicked to go with, me and 5 other guys got handpicked to go with those guys to Afghan for the first Roto Zero.
So are you guys teaming up with the U.S. then? Is it like Canada, U.S. going in together? Or?
At that time, so it was a multinational brigade, and Kabul, looking at it from an aerial map, is 2 big bowls in the mountain, and it's pinched off in the middle by a big mountain range. So it looks like a big old set of titties when you're looking at it from the air.
Yeah.
And so one side was the Canadian side, and the other side was the multinational brigade side.
Okay.
Italy, France, Germany, like Scandinavian countries, Australia, those guys, and the Americans. We rescued a couple. I got too many stories to talk, but that's a whole other episode, boys. But yeah, I went over there with those guys for 7 months, and yeah, seen it, got to do it, had my fun, came back.
Life changing.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let me stay with those guys. One RCR wanted me back on theirs, and then they stuck me in their signal corps. I did something real cool with that. I learned how to run multi-variable frequency level jamming, running crypto, and learn how to run crypto packs. So this is actually, I think I'm past my legal date talking about this because
Oh,
I did
boy.
some super duper illegal shit.
Exclusive.
We ended up getting a crypto pack radio out of Sig's Core and that I was working in. And we didn't know it was crypto pack loaded. We just were borrowing the radio and we were running UHF, VHF, frequency jamming sequences and using basic stuff. And that's what we were learning how to do. So we went out one afternoon and we're sitting up on a hillside and we had ran an antenna 60 feet up a tree, climbed up there and run her antenna up. And we're looking over this valley and there's a bunch of reservists training and they were doing fake fire and movement exercise with light vehicle and infantry units. So we would do small bursts of like 10, 15 seconds and we think we're just blanking out their communications, and that it's working because we can visibly see loss of communication across the battlefront.
Wow.
And it was pretty cool to see that, right?
Yeah.
So we do this for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, from like 1:30 to 3 o'clock, and we're like, wow, getting there, we better pack up, and we watched the clusterfuck that had happened. So we pack up and we're heading back into CF and into our base, and there's these SUVs ripping. There's these black 4-door Yukon Denali SUVs just ripping around the base, and they've got the windows down and they've got these little fucking micro dish, like a micro satellite dish, and they were frequency locators, and they had them and they were scanning. And they're scanning, they're looking for this, and then we're like,
Trying to find you guys.
we immediately recognized that, oh shit, maybe we weren't just, maybe we were broadcasting further than what we were broadcasting, these frequency jams.
Right.
We jammed CFB Petawawa, the entire base
Wow.
of CFB Petawawa, the town of Petawawa, parts of Pembroke, which is down a ways, all telephone communication, satellite communication, two-way radio communication, handheld radio communication, all of it, everything. We were sending out these monster.
So you guys just had no idea of the power of that.
What we were actually doing.
Yeah.
So as
Man.
far as CSIS and Ottawa were concerned, they lost communication with CFB Petawawa for almost 2 hours
Yeah.
on a random Wednesday afternoon. So they
Man.
left. We were getting swarmed from operators from Dwyer Hill because this JTF2 operates out of Dwyer Hill. And so the flying squirrels came up and they're racing around trying to locate where this was coming from. And they could tell it was coming from CFB Petawawa. So they thought it was a terrorist attack. So this is shortly
internal.
after.
Jeez.
Anyways, we put the radio away and we packed up and nobody said anything for several years.
Yeah.
So if CSIS is listening,
Yeah, it was me and I'm very sorry.
yeah, we don't know where Matt lives. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
under a
Wild.
tree in the mountains.
Yeah. Were you happy with like being in the military overall? Like coming out, you're like, that was the best decision of my life?
I
or-
went, I saw, I did, and I got the hell out.
Yeah.
No PTSD?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You were in some
I had to-
gunfights?
We got shot at. That was the whole thing. We were getting shot at and shit was blowing up around us. Not so much, I had a friend of mine get killed, but we got lit up one night, man, and the best way I can describe it to tell people is like, it was like Star Wars, when you see like the little laser guns, pew, pew, pew,
Oh,
pew.
yeah.
When the tracer fire's coming in on you,
Yeah.
we get lit up with heavy machine gun fire one night. And I'm in the lead vehicle. This is a whole other story because we got put out as bait. Hindsight's 2020, and I'm like, why were we driving out this dried out riverbed in the middle of this mountain range? Why were we there?
Yeah.
To draw out the machine gun fire? Exactly.
Wow.
We did. We got we were used as cannon fodder to draw out the machine gun fire.
And you figured that out
by
afterwards.
talking with the sniper team that killed the two assholes.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we're driving along, bebopping down the road, and I'm half NVG, right? I'm just running a monocular NVG in low light. And yeah, it just lit up in front of me. It was just these red streaks flying in front of me. And I was like, oh shit. And I reached down and I grabbed the emergency brake and I pulled the emergency brake up and rolled out of the Jeep at the same time. And I know the vehicle was still moving forward when I came out of it with my feet in the air, and I backslapped and rolled into the ditch. And then I had to crawl up to the Jeep and pull out my C7 with my M203 40 mil grenade launcher on next to it. So then we were split. We had three guys on one side and 3 guys on the other side. And then had killed the lights on the vehicle because the second volley had came in, like they were adjusting. And then it was cool when the sergeant called in artillery, like, because we could see Camp Julian from this riverbed up on the hill, like 2 kilometers away. And he called in artillery on the location, and you could see the 105 howitzer swinging in place, fucking. The guys are out there spinning them, doof, doof. And then the paraflares go off, and you can see those big paraflares swinging through the air. And then Sergeant waited 10 seconds. He said, repeat fire on flares. So doof, doof, 2 flares go up, and they're burning, and you hear crack, crack, crack.
Yeah.
And then a pause and delay, and we're all kind of like, what the hell was that? Because it's in the middle of the night, like you can cross an empty mountain valley range, and those shots ring out, and we hear 1-3 Charlie, contact enemy down, proceed with your patrol. It's all good here, boys, hope you're okay. And we're like, yeah, we're all good here. Like, what? Right on. And when we pack and we get in our Jeep, and the Jeeps weren't hit, we weren't hit.
Yeah.
And
Wild.
we ended up getting back to barracks later and running into the Ritchie sniper team. And we hear him, 1-3 Charlie, is that you guys? And we're like, yeah. Because they separated us so we wouldn't talk about kills and stuff while we were out working. And one of the guys took out his knife and slit the barricade, and then we ended up drinking with those guys for the night. They slid us a few extra beer.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this is why we like having you on the podcast. You're never boring, Matt. You've always got the stories.
That's wild. Yeah. Was it always like wild? Or was there a lot of like downtime too?
It was downtime, but we were constantly moving. So we were doing 3 patrols a day. That was like we were moving a lot. I was high calorie intake. I didn't mind it though. Anyways, I was going to the gym a lot. The guys visited Russia, and we were going to the gym a lot. Anyways, no, we were it was good. It was all right. There was downtime. It was boring. Like it would be everything. I remember
The guys visited Russia were going to gym.
Okay.
So you guys drink a lot of vodka? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the juice to go with the vodka. And we were working out a lot. So I'll give you 3 premises stories to go. So we'll go with a flying cat.
Okay, flying cat. We get to choose this story?
Yeah.
Okay, flying cat or
Stolen hash.
stolen hash.
I want funny ones.
I mean, I want to hear stolen hash. That's
Stolen hash is winning so far,
Yeah.
so just go with that one.
Okay, I got 2 more. This might actually.
Okay.
Man fucked by goat or man fucks dog?
I think it's stolen hash.
Yeah. They all sound like they deserve their own episode, you know? Wellness Wavelength episode 109. Yeah.
I got so many good ones from over there. But it was just observations. Like these aren't any far-fetched story. Like it's just observing the ongoings of the culture.
Yeah.
So stolen hash it is. All right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So being combat trades, I was infantry. So most of our job was out walking around towns, checking on locals, talking to police stations, patrolling day and night on foot, on vehicles. Sometimes we'd go out, get dropped off. Sometimes we'd walk out, get picked up, come back in. Like, we tried to change it up so they couldn't bomb us, couldn't predict our movement. So every once in a while we had to do guard duty, which was bitch duty, or like sitting on OP post, or sitting up watching a machine gun or whatever. Oh man, there's a funny story about that too. So this particular day we're doing guard duty.
You're just guarding the base.
Well, this front gate duty. So we had like something like 200 locals coming into base, picking rocks and filling Hesco Bastion barriers up full of rocks, and just trying to support local infrastructure with a little bit of work and stuff. So we had to search the locals, and in this chain of events, there's a couple situations, but this one guy, we ran into a fella that had a hammer on him that actually would knock on his kneecap.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody was impressed. But he fucking, so, yeah, God, there's two stories. So this fella comes in and he's emptying out his pockets, and I see him and he's not nervous or anything, and he throws his change in a little wad full of money, because you could have a fistful of that shit for a loaf of bread. And he takes this super value pack of juicy fruit bubble gum, and it is open, and it has 1 or 2 sticks of gum missing out of it. And I see it, I'm standing right beside him, and he put it down on the table, but instead of setting it down on the table, right before he was about to place it on the table, he let go of it, and it went thud. And that cued my interest, because I'm like, man, that sounded a little bit heavy for
Heavy
bubble
for
gum.
juicy fruit, eh? Yeah.
So I'm thinking about it, and he's getting ready to go through the gate, and he's grabbing his money, and he's going for the juicy fruit, and I reach out and I stop it. And he kind of turns and he looks at me, and I pick up the juicy fruit, and I'm weighing it in my hand. I'm like, God, that's heavy. And I'm looking at it, so I pull one out. All the tin foil's perfectly folded. The yellow wrapper's on the outside just right.
Yeah.
And I pull a stick out, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just something, I don't know why I thought about this, and I pulled the stick of gum out, and I unwrapped the foil, and sure as shit, isn't it hash?
Hash, eh?
And he was bringing it in and selling it to the guys on base. 'Cause
Wow.
people were smoking hash. Like, you're not on an army base installation with that many infantry guys and that many, like, guys are gonna,
Yeah, you got customers.
those guys will smoke anything.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Do you confiscate it then?
You found a safe home for it?
For educational purposes, a fella needs to investigate these things.
Right.
So
exactly.
Majority was reported to on staff sergeant, and
Yeah.
so I kept a couple sticks of this shit, and I get back to base, back down to our Quonset hut, which was like just a round shell, our tent, and our section tent, and I show my fire team partner, and we ended up rolling some up with tobacco, and went for a midnight run around the base.
Yeah.
So we were going out for this big run. We were around to the backside of the base. It's all dark and not too lit up, and we smoked this thing. We no more so as put that fucking joint out, and the sergeant major of the para company runs around the corner.
Yeah.
Hey boys, how's it going? We're like, go sir, how are great. Oh, I'd love to see you guys out here get some exercise, hoorah, or whatever they said, and he runs off, and we were both looking at each other like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Thank God it was hash and it wasn't marijuana, because it would stink awful.
I was hoping he was going to come up to you and say, I shouldn't have to ask for this. You know,
That's a different story.
So do you think he knew what was going on? They're not that dumb.
They're not that dumb. And he was an old war-battered
Yeah.
old guy, so
He's like, these guys are just
these
guys are just relaxing.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it was we smoked one out on patrol one night. That was pretty funny. I wasn't driving that night, so it was okay. But stopped on a mountainside. Steph and I had a smoke. This is awful. I shouldn't be admitting this shit. we smoked a hash joint up on a mountainside in Afghanistan, and we're at the back of the pack, and we sat down to take a break, and we were on this like 15-kilometer hike. That was pretty often we'd do something like that, and walking through these edge of town communities and refugee camps and shit like that. We're sitting up there, and I don't know if it was a kangaroo rat or if it was a goddamn camel spider, but it was the size of my hand regardless. But I chipped that thing out, and I put my hand right next to it, and it was big enough that it scurried between Steph and I, and it hit his combat helmet hard enough. Because I startled it, and it took off, and it ran, and it went thunk, and it ran into his combat helmet, and then scurried off in the middle of the night.
Man.
And we're fucking stoned up on this mountain, and I have two 19-year-old kids. Like, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah.
Getting shot at, doing the snatch and grabs in the middle of the night. Those were pretty good. Doing raids. We actually, Laura laughs, not likes telling it, but we hand-delivered some motherfuckers to the fingernail factory. We took some guys straight to the Bagram Air Force Base, right up onto the back of a C-130 Herc, and they got a one-way flight to Guantanamo.
Wow. Bad guys.
We caught some bad guys.
Yeah.
That was pretty
do you
cool.
feel like you did some good over there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like all in all, like it was
All
a
in
good
all,
idea.
the impact that I had on the community, there's a little girl named Mejda, and she wasn't the oldest girl, and she wasn't the youngest, but she was the matriarch of all the children. She was the smartest one. She wasn't the oldest by a long shot. The oldest one was a fucking bitch. I didn't like that little... Anyways, I won't say nothing about her. But Mejda, though, was super intelligent, very aware of herself and aware of the situation, and took advantage of it. And so there was one day we made sure, like, Master Corporal Dave Stewart, his wife worked at Canadian Tire, and we got all the off-season footwear, like that was off, like, and they would just go back, and so we got a bunch of that donated. So we made sure that Mejda's family, father, mother, and the 6 kids all got brand new footwear. And it's always a risk given, that like was risk donate because they'd turn around and sell it.
Yeah.
And there was a prime example of that with medical care to one child. He had like a 1.5 foot piece of braided wire that was up through his lower foot, up through his leg, and it had like fused his foot into a position. And we went up there oh man, I got so many stories. I'm just going from one to another. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about because I went on to the next story.
You know, George asked a good question. You know, a lot of people look back
That's
and
the
say,
first time Scott's ever said that.
"What?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there's
very
a first
nice.
time for everything."
Right.
No, but the fact that you guys were out there putting your lives on the line, and you look back and you say, "Yeah, it was worth it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I know other guys can't, because other guys were in positions like, I know that I helped little girls go back to school and get an education. Like I know particularly in 2 occasions where the schools got opened back up and the little girls were allowed to go back. And that pencils were our best thing that I gave away. Because my mom would send me over great big packs of pencils and stuff, and we'd give that stuff away. Kids loved it. You get information.
Yeah.
Anybody been around? Get the interpreter to ask the kids, hey, who's been around tonight? Anybody been walking through? And they'd you never know.
Yeah.
For a pencil.
Oh yeah. Well, that was important because
Yeah.
if a kid had a pencil, oh geez.
It's education.
Yep.
Yeah.
And paper.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I can't measure his family. Her father came to the gate and we presented them and he accepted them, and every one of the kids had their shoes on.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Matt, obviously you've got more stories to tell on this, and we're going to have you back. We're going to be panning for gold.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
don't want to mine.
We're going to give the GPS location.
Yeah, we don't want to mine all of your military stories tonight because we need to tap into it next time. But before we close, because we were talking spring bear
Yeah.
way back when at some point in time, is there anything that we've missed or some pointers that you would give someone who's starting out with spring bear? Give us the goods before we shut her down.
Spring bear, if you have the resources to do it, go for a drive. Look for scat on the road. If you
Okay.
find scat, take a look at it, kick it over. Hell, you can feel the heat coming off of it on an early morning. Around now, if a bear walked out and dropped a load on the road, it'd be steaming. And you will find that bear around there somewhere.
Are you dawn and dusk? Or
I'm
you
dawn and dusk,
Not
like-
midday? Screw it.
Far and few between.
Okay.
Far and few between. Your 3-hour cusp hours. Now you will find, and it depends on the temperature of the day. If it's overcast and it's kind of cool, you'll catch bears moving all throughout the day.
All right.
But if it's hot and sunny, they're definitely going to be out in the early morning and the late evening. Around here, overcast kicks in 3 o'clock, and bears are usually moving by supper time and for
Yeah.
those last couple hours. Cruise the roads, check for scat.
South-facing slopes.
South-facing slopes, you're going to be looking for the fresh shoots of grass, roadsides, ditches, culverts that are moving through the roads. If you find offshoot roads, find the culverts. You'll find fresh grass. You'll find a bear in there.
Culverts, that's a good, that's a good one. I like that.
Because if it's culvert, there's water.
Water moving through, it's like, hey, there's a culvert here.
And if you're cruising the roads looking for bears in the right spots, you'll find them sitting by a culvert, especially first in the spring, because around a culvert is where it grows every time.
Things flowing a little bit, yeah.
Often the black culvert looks like a bear. I've been
I've
been duped by that before.
Yeah, for sure, me too.
If you had
dandelions, if
Oh,
I could
yeah,
find dandelion
dandelions.
patches. So if you know where raspberry patches are, heavy raspberry patches, you're gonna find a bear den site around that area somewhere, because that's where he's gonna be feeding late fall, and he's not gonna move too far from a heavy food source. So if I found a south-facing slope with an extraordinary amount of raspberries and water nearby,
culvert running through it, yeah.
and they like aspen ridges, like those transitions, because they're feeding on the open area grass. South-facing slope right-of-ways is where they're going to be grassing in the spring, and look for the transition. It's just like anything.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And folks, if you are spring bear hunting and you get a bear, send us a note.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Send us a note. We'd love
Send
to
us a
hear your
claw.
stories. Yep.
What is there a preference for you guys, Scott? I know you kind of do the fall more often, but as far as like taste or anything, any big difference between fall and spring bear?
There's more for me. The small amount I've personally handled, because it was all commercial when I was younger. Spring bear, I like the taste of a spring bear. I've eaten half of one. We didn't talk about bear pastrami, bear ham. had smokies and cheddar
Bear smokies?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's making sure that if you're curing everything up good enough, then
Yeah. Everything's an option.
yeah.
I've eaten both fall and spring bear, and they were both excellent.
Yeah.
So I can't say there's a problem. I think, like we said, if that bear is eating garbage and fish, it's going to be rotten.
Yeah.
But if it's eating dandelions and blueberries and alfalfa and clover, it's going to be great spring or fall.
There's more trimming and detail work that has to be done with a fall bear when it's all fattened up than a spring bear, because a spring bear, it's used up a lot of its resources and the fat's not there.
Yeah, you got no fat. So if you're wanting bear grease, go for a fall bear.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I'm inspired. Okay, I'm gonna.
But a fall black bear that's been sitting on a blueberry patch for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, just getting fat on blueberries.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tasty.
The meat would be blue. It's the very best.
Sweet and tasty.
And they'll have a lot of fat. So if you want to utilize everything out of a bear, you'll get more from a fall bear than a spring bear.
I'm gonna need one of those bears that's been sitting on poutine for like 6 weeks. The kid loves poutine, so if we get a poutine flavored bear,
the
man.
KFC chicken grease.
Oh
yeah.
boy, it'd be so good. Okay, I'm gonna get my. I haven't shot a bear before or hunted a bear even. I'm gonna get my.
You got to get on it.
I'm gonna get my bear ticket this fall. Not gonna primarily hunt for bear, but if I see one when I'm out deer hunting.
Well, here's the deal, George.
They
If you
go
get your spring
bear, it's good for
spring
fall
bear,
hunt.
it's good for fall.
Oh, it is.
And you
So
can
if
get
you
two.
go out for
Oh.
firewood and you take your rifle and
Yeah.
you pop a bear, if you don't, well, you can still use it in the fall. It's a no regret
Oh,
purchase.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then there's like supplementary bear tags.
Yeah,
There is
two bear
supplementary.
tags.
Yeah.
All our zones around here are supplementary bear.
Yeah.
Lots of bears here.
Yeah.
Do you got to buy a tag per zone?
Nope.
No.
No, it's just general.
One in
Good
Alberta.
job.
Wow. Okay, I'm in.
You're
That
in,
goes
man.
for your
Yeah.
all. That's a
You're
that's
in,
all
man.
your tags. Your buck tag.
Yeah.
If you get a whitetail general buck tag, you could drive to Lethbridge and go to a general zone in Lethbridge and shoot it, or you could go all the way up to High Prairie and shoot it, or
Yeah.
you could go. As long as it's general.
Unless
long
you
as
put
you
in
got a
for your
general one.
draw and made it specific, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, general's general in Alberta.
Well, there's some good info tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out there, get your bear.
I learned a lot.
It's great food, great meat, great excitement. And it
Matt-
feels different hunting a bear from an ungulate, I tell you. Very different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Matthew Ritchie, the next chapter on
Yes, sir.
Facebook as well. Anything big coming up on the next chapter? What's the
Hanging out with you guys.
perfect? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold panning on the McLeod.
Oh man, gold panning, and Matt's always shed hunting too. So
I haven't actually done too much. With young Kate and everything, but now she can jump over logs and stuff. So
yeah, she'll be the
getting a
shed
little-
hunter of the family now.
We're getting there because she wants to be outside. I feel so bad because I'll want to be inside a little bit, and she was like, "Dad, can we go for a walk?" And I'm like, "Oh my!" I just sat down.
Yeah, I just got off night shifts. Come on.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go out to the McLeod and we'll set up and we'll do some gold panning. I got a new drone too, so we'd be able to do some nice aerial photography with it.
Sweet.
Films in 4K, so it does all right.
Yeah. This podcast will be recorded in video in the next.
Eventually.
It's coming soon. I've been researching, Scott. I'm
Good.
I'm no good at filming, so then
Well,
it's
that's easy enough to do. Like, I'd film the one me and you sitting here,
yeah. Oh right,
and like,
that was like the first one we did together.
yeah. Yeah, we could, with the phone.
Yeah.
Well, I think I got the S26 Ultra Pro or whatever.
Bragger.
Yeah.
This band, the Samsung fancy one.
Yeah.
It does good with low light, and set it up on my tripod, and
Yeah.
Give her, because Matt's a handsome devil. He's got a rattlesnake hat. Yeah, I mean,
Badass knife.
Yeah, badass knife. We missed out. Not
Yeah.
being
I,
able to see it.
got my comfy dad shoes on though. I asked Laura, I was like, "Where's my boots?" She's like, "I put them in the closet. You said your feet were hurting." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm allowed to look cool for a couple hours though."
Struggle through the pain.
Yeah.
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 But we'll do it. I mean, sitting around the fire like this, have a camera set up here that would get us. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll happen. I'm just, I'm low on time, so just editing videos makes it tough. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just trying to figure out a way to fast line that process.
I think so. What's going on for me with the next chapter and that stuff? I think I was overcomplicating it in my own head, and I was trying to. I don't know. I was trying too much, and I wouldn't like what I was doing, and I wouldn't put anything out.
Yeah.
And I've resigned myself to be like, no, I'm just gonna take everybody along.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Short video, and then because Chris is putting together these amazing, like, he's got these intro videos, and Chris Borger, my buddy that does all the filming, like, he puts these clips together. He's like, we just gotta kill something, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up now. I feel like the next chapter hasn't been posting enough for you lately. Like, I want to see more Matthew out there. So start
Yeah.
posting all your videos, man. Like, we want to see it.
We're
We want you in
there.
Hunting, fishing, gold panning, man.
Yeah.
Get it on
just
there.
get it on there. Who cares what the quality is sometimes? Like, just put
Yeah.
yourself out there.
we're
'Cause we
there.
wanna see it.
I hammered off a lot of things that I had to get done, and now the pressure's off. I actually got a big sigh of relief with, like, just with projects and
Nice.
stuff going on. So I think that's the plan. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, put it out there.
Looks like we got a full moon here, fellas. Right back there. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful night. Beautiful backyard fire.
Fire crackling. If you want to get Scott's book,
Radically Wild.
Man, it's everywhere, Scott. It's blowing up down in Catamount, all over Hinton.
Have you been down for a visit? I went down with
Yeah.
Kate and we got some. Oh yeah, I just missed
Scott's
you
been
by
down
like.
there.
We were chatting and she's like, Scott's coming down here. You might actually run into him. We
Yeah.
hung out for a while, but Kate was getting squirrely, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't gone to the general store in Catamount, check it out. It's
Got some
awesome.
nice baked goods.
Yeah, Marie's doing a great job. And the audio book is coming out soon for
Right.
Radically Wild for those who hate reading. But you know what? Young men are picking up the book and reading for the first time in their lives. So that's great.
I like, I've been right into, well, I've been reading a bit. Jordan Peterson, I'm just finishing
Yeah.
off his.
Jordan's always great. Yeah.
I'm finishing off Marcus Aurelius, Stoics.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Meditations.
Meditations is the, I'm halfway through Meditations, but Stoic. It's Principles of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
And then,
Ryan Holiday.
is that who that one is?
I think so. He's all into the, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. That one's a better read than Stoic. Stoics, because they're referencing so many names, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, because they'll reference one name to get to another name, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Sometimes like, all right, get to the point of it.
Get to the point, like,
Yeah.
get to the meat of the story here. But
Yeah.
I understand that they have to put lineage to where it's all coming from, but
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
wildernesswavelength.ca too, taken off. So go, and you can leave us voicemail. I forget to bring this up, but you can leave us voicemails.
Yeah.
I know people are like a little scared too, but leave us a voicemail because we want to we could play your voice on the podcast, which is kind of fun.
That's great.
I could pre-record on my phone and I'd be like, here's a question from Stan, and hit the button and be like Stan talking on the podcast. So
And don't forget to follow and subscribe. We're already in 20 countries.
Yeah.
It's getting out there, folks. So
yeah,
thanks for listening.
perfect.
And Matt, thanks for
joining
coming
along.
on.
No,
Yeah.
my pleasure. I appreciate being here. I've had a few people mention that they enjoy listening to my shenanigans.
Yeah.
So that's nice to hear.
I love it.
I was convinced my father had been a millionaire if he had got sitting around like this, just chatting,
Yeah.
Full of stories. eh?
full of stories. That man interacted with people from every nation around the world, did a little bit of everything.
Could he spin a yarn the way you do too? Is that where you got it
If
from?
I get to the point of Mac Ritchie, I will have achieved a goal that I didn't think was achievable. Dad, yeah, he's one of a kind character,
Legendary.
Yeah.
but
Love it.
He made money with it,
Yeah.
selling stories to Americans. He'd go down to the campfire. He'd wait till they get a bunch of beer into him.
Yeah.
And there was one thing, it was a rule at the camp, was that outfitters don't socialize with your guides. Like, be sociable, like, but don't, end of the night, you let them do their thing, and
Is that
don't
right, eh?
don't sit around and drink too much with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you might say something wrong, and then you lose your tip for the week. You might,
Wow. Yeah.
You're like,
might-
you can't hit the broadside of a barn door.
joking
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. It could be anything from political to joking, sense of humor. But Dad he'd go down, and he'd go down and sit by the fire, and he'd tell a story or two. But that man could carry a yarn on for 2 hours. And come to the end of her, you'd forget what story you were listening to.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it all made sense, and then he'd hit the punchline, and he'd stand up, and the boys would be falling off their chairs laughing. I sat around watching this,
Yeah.
all my life. That's how I perfected my storytelling.
There you
Wow.
go. Yeah.
And the best stories are true stories.
Always.
The easiest way to tell somebody that's fucking up bullshit in a story is when if they have to think about it,
Yeah.
and they're walking through it, and
Right.
no bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be fluid.
It's gotta
But
be a true story.
Even a polished bullshit story, it should be fluid.
Well, you always throw in a couple good words too. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Ostentatious, hellacious.
Mom, I like ostentatious, but my mom would call me a big feeling prick. So that it's kind of like that one. So that and all that would mean is that, oh, don't you think you're something special? Because I showed up in my jacket and my nice Stetson hat and my leather cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And Mom says, well, aren't you the big feeling prick? Think you're something special coming from Alberta?
Hi, Mom.
I'm like, hey, Mom, love you too.
Yeah, exactly.
But my mom doesn't talk like that. But the way I showed up, she looked at me and just, oh my God.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, that was funny because the girls that I showed up for my father in the hospital, he was about dead. And I get to the hospital, and lo and behold, he survived. And I was there every day. I was working his legs like a goddamn bicycle because he had a big bowel surgery. And the doctor came in there, so getting ready. Everybody's saying their goodbyes and crying. And the doctor looks at him. He says, well, Mac, what do you think? You gonna go through the surgery? He's like, well, you're telling me I'm dying? And he's like, yes, Mac, you're going to be dead in the morning if you don't get this surgery. Do you want the surgery or no? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he just figured he was just laying in the hospital bed. Yeah, no, he came through. But the girls at the hospital didn't know I was in the Army. This is a lifetime ago. That was just a little blink in my life. I don't attribute that to... It helped me a lot in my life. I shouldn't say that, but it's not my persona.
Yeah.
Is your dad still alive?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he came
right
right
on.
around. Just despite all the odds and my mother, he survived.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, make sure he listens to the podcast.
Oh, he's had a listen. Mom's turned it
Yeah.
on for him before. He,
Nice.
yeah, they were like, oh, the sergeant major's coming.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know I was in the Army, but I was strict with him. Because he'd get in there and the therapeutic ladies would come in and they'd be like, okay, Max, time to get up and move around. And oh, I don't want to. And I'd say, do you want to lay here and die? You going to lay here and die? Is that what you want? And he'd be like, well, don't be so mean to me. And I said, well, quit being so miserable and get up out of that goddamn hospital bed right now. Fine. And he'd get up and he'd move it around and the girls would be like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, go. And then we'd get him out in the hallway and we'd get him walking up and down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he made her. He come right around.
That's awesome.
I know, because I already said my goodbyes to him. I'd sat there and was like, had my emotional,
Yeah.
Yeah.
got another kick at the cat.
Hey, you got to hang on to your dad as long as you can, man.
Yeah.
He's still watching the History Channel. He didn't change his habits.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, Matthew Ritchie,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
the next chapter. Check it out. Scott Sunderwald,
Northern Rockies Bushcraft.
Northern Rockies Bushcraft.
Yeah,
And,
your production's getting a lot better, Scott. I mentioned that too. I was like, just the way that your layout and everything. Your
Well,
videos
you
are
know,
flowing.
it seems video's the way to go. And in the old days, it was just photographs. So I'm trying to do more and more
Yeah.
video. But
that is the trick.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Now you've tried to side off 5 times. Now let's try 6 and see if we.
We keep stalling.
No, I love it.
George.
No, I love it.
No,
It's,
I keep cutting them off.
And George,
I'm not trying to
George,
sign anything
before
off.
we
I just
sign
want to make sure
off-
we check everything off here.
You did the race in Jasper last weekend.
Yeah, 1
Cool.
kilometer.
How'd that go?
We nailed it. Case came in. Casey was in 17th place out of 57.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Yeah,
And that-
we did the big
Casey
run.
is how old?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Nicely
It
done.
was fun. We were lined up for the race too, and then like right before the race, like he's like geared up, and I just like felt his heart there. It's like, like he's just like, here we
Oh,
go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was fun.
He's
Yeah.
like a racehorse, and you've got your big race at Folding Mountain coming up in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been watching people that are like tagging themselves in the race. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Folding Mountain Ultra coming up, and like they're just so athletic. And then I see myself, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go try to hammer out 8 kilometers tonight. But
Oh, you're gonna do great, man. You're more fit than you know. Have you run Folding Mountain, or is it full of snow still?
I've never run it. We hiked it to the top in September, but I haven't run it yet
Yeah.
this year. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weekends
I ran it down one time and I had shin splints for 3 months.
Really, eh?
I
Yeah.
talked to Jenny
Running
Windle
down it,
today,
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
and she ran it 3 times in a day.
Wow.
So That's intense. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now I'm gearing up for it. It actually has changed my life a little bit as far as like training. It's like there's nights I'm like, oh, I could go have a beer in the garage, you know, in Casey's asleep and it's 8 o'clock, and then I'm like, I could just go for a run too. Maybe I'll just go for a run.
Yeah.
So I feel healthier now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in June, but yeah, it's been going good.
Right on.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Until next week, stay wild.
Wilderness Wavelength.